What's up, duelists? I'm here with the strongest x-saber player in the world currently, aka Totagon. What's up, Totagon? Fresh off your first place victory, how are you feeling?
Uh, Feeling pretty good, man. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe I just came into this and then I honestly was like, I'm going to try to do better than the top four placement, and that was kind of like what I had in my heart, and I didn't think I was gonna make it that far to actually win the whole thing. I thought it was maybe like a second place finish, and then just kind of crazy to have won that whole thing.
The list looks immaculate. Your play looked immaculate. We're going to go over all of your top cut matches here today. But before we get into all of that, make sure you guys go to Totagon's YouTube channel and subscribe to him. He's one of the strongest Edison players right now, and he posts live tournament coverage every week. He's my personal favorite Edison content creator. He's always posting full tournament VODs of paper tournaments and stuff like that. And once he gets to 1,000 subscribers, he can finally earn money on his uploads. So help him get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Like I seriously cannot recommend watching Totagon enough. I've learned a lot just from watching your VODs. Okay, hold up. Where are we going here? All right, we're back. We're so back. Okay, back to the deck list. um, yes.
That's too kind, man. Those words are way too kind. It's okay to lie.
Yeah, shut the fuck. The deck list is a lot like your top four deck list, right? I mean, it's very similar. It's only three cards in the main are different.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
walk me through it. Just tell me about the deck before we get into the matches.
Yeah, I think a lot of the ratios are pretty standard here. Three Airbellum is standard, three Faltro is standard. You can play with ratios of two or one, and it's fine. I think it's like your Judgment Dragon of the deck, so you got to play three
Yeah, I
and
think
just
I think
focus all in on that strat.
two or one is definitely cope. Is definitely wrong. I don't know. Don't play around with ratios of it if you're listening to
Yeah,
this. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
yeah. Emmer's Blade, self-explanatory. I before the list that you labbed up with the Wilhelm Knights, I always thought three was mandatory, and then two in a row to just it's clean. It's pretty clean. I haven't really missed the third one much, so I feel like that's a fine optimization if you need space in the deck. Your five copies of Rescue Cat, right? I think those are self-explanatory with the Sangan Summoner Monk, Rescue Cat, and the two Giant Rats, as well as having the additional utility for other X-Sabers through the Giant Rat. And the one raggy's pretty standard. With the one for one, I think a lot of people are starting to do that, and it just makes sense. Just don't play it if you have both in your hand, and just play the summon it from your hand when you need to drop them.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I think a lot of people were not playing an optimal number of. Like I feel like every time I saw lists prior to this, and even some of the lists that I had played with before I decided to start like cutting everything that was kind of superfluous, um, people were playing like two and even three Ragigura in some cases, and this card is just
Yeah,
really bad. Like you basically never
yeah,
want to draw it, so you just play it for
yep,
the one for one because one for one is kind of like a second cat in a weird way, and
yeah,
it's a way to get back full troll if your first push like fails. So I think one for one Ragigura is like still good, and then there's a lot of like plays that come up with like Emmer's Blade, bring out Ragigura, get back whatever. Um, but
yeah. It's an extender. I think that's the thing with this deck. You need to figure out how to manage your extenders, right? So just getting that second saber name is critical. So even if you're like playing it from your hand with the one for one, it's the second saber monster after the normal.
yeah,
So we take the neg to pop off.
yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but one for one can special summon from the hand or deck. So even if you do draw the Ragigura, it doesn't matter as long as you can piece together some fall trolls. And you can go minus, and then the fall troll will just win you the game, so it doesn't matter. As for the
Exactly.
spells, how do you feel about like your spells in this deck? There's no cold wave. That's kind of a big one. But I know a lot of people have moved away from cold wave because it leaves you defenseless on your opponent's turn. Is that something that you found when playing that card, or
Yeah, my bigger issue with Cold Wave was needing to play cards or advance the board state a bit with your spells like brain control, mind control, or perhaps you want to go into like the battle phase, trade a couple Emmer's Blades so that you can like activate your set E call and then main phase two make a push. And Cold Wave being that restrictive to where you have to activate at the start of main phase one kind of led to situations where I can't combo because I have to play the Cold Wave and I need it wouldn't do what Heavy Storm or Giant Trunade or Trap Stun would do in that sense where because it has that start of main phase one restriction, it would stop me. And that was at that point where I figured I don't think this card is that useful then. Feel like a trap stun or my body as a shield or something reactive to your push will serve you a lot better because then you can have a more flexible way to find your combo
Yeah.
and push off from that.
Yeah, you're not forced to do a very linear combo in the main phase. I think later on in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, when Dark Souls released, Cold Wave becomes a lot better. But in this deck, as it stands, where the combo needs to be more flexible and less linear in Edison format, Cold Wave just it puts you in a tiny box that you don't really want to be in. So that is definitely one of the
Yeah.
weaknesses of the card. Triple Book, this is like almost an extender in this deck because it combos with Emmer's Blade and Full Helm Knight in order to get you two names in play. So
Yep.
I feel like three is a great choice. It's also defensive. It interrupts synchro plays, whatnot. Do you feel like
Exactly.
you would ever play less than three of this now, or do you think it's like a mandatory three of?
I feel like it's a mandatory three of the meta right now being Frog Hero and Black Wings. This card's pretty decent into both of them with being able to book a Monarch so your full home can attack over it and get value, as well as setting off a Whirlwind summon. And all the Black Wings don't have anything like it's all 1200 defense and lower except for the Armor Master and the level 8 guy. So this card's always almost going to work against them too. And you can summon a full hum and crash over all of those as well. So and synchro decks, like what you said, if it feels like it's pretty mandatory in this deck.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go below three personally.
it's nice because like even though it's a minus, the Full Helm just gets you the plus right back. So it's like never really that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You decided to keep the
The
at one with the sword. Is that like a vibe? Sorry to interrupt you. What were you gonna say?
no, just the other. I guess the other cards are self-explanatory, right? Trinade, MST, Gold Sarks, one for one.
Yeah,
Rhoda, level limit. I think it's like the only thing that's like not self-explanatory. Play level limit. That card's nuts.
it's kind of like the royal oppression of this deck. Like it's like your broken
Yeah.
floodgate that you get to play.
It's so good.
It's
Yeah, that one with
insane.
the sword. That one with the sword was I don't know, man. I it's in there for the memes at this point. I still have not thought of a card that I'm like, this is it. This is the card. So it's still at one with the sword until we figure out what that 40th card is. It's not a bad card. It's cute. It's a very cute way to get a free draw and act as a Suedo like D prison. And then it works with Trunade. So that was the other train of thought here. I wanted cards that would get value and would stay on the field after they synchro or do something with their monster or something that I could like just Trunade back for my own stuff. So that was that one with the sword and the three Fiendish chains in the side.
You mean
In the
in
main,
in
sorry.
the main and the Call of the Haunted too,
Yeah. And the
as
Call of the
well.
Haunted. Right, right. So it's like five cards that you can Trinade back after they get their value.
Plus, you could like Trunade back level limit after like switching their guy to defense and then combo
Yeah,
off on it.
yeah. And you can
Yeah,
make a push.
yeah. There's a lot of cool uses of Giant Trunade, like a lot of synergies with that card in this deck, and I one with the sword is just a great one there too, as well.
Yeah.
Plus, like I love that this card just instantly replaces itself, and it's a damage step trick, so you're never gonna get blown out by like Book or by like Regeki Break or Phoenix Wing or whatever. That's really nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very neat curveball.
The stat line it puts your monsters at too, like 2100, is really nice because it gets over basically everything in defense position, and then it also gets over like most like 4 stars or less in attack position. Like it gets over Stratos, Sirocco, pretty much anything that isn't
Exactly.
Cyber Dragon. And this card goes stupid crazy versus like Dandy tokens or like any recruiter or whatever. Like if your opponent sets a Pyramid Turtle and you have at one with the sword, you're gonna draw like 3 cards. Like that shit is just nuts.
Yeah, that's the other big thing to note. At one with the sword and full helm, they don't have to send the cards to grave. They just have to destroy something by battle.
Yeah, yeah. So you can get this even when killing a token like a Gorse token or something like that.
Super neat.
Triple Gotham Sea Call. I mean, this is like kind of like your ghetto Fall Troll. Like it's like not as good as Fall Troll, but I don't know. How do you feel about this
Yeah.
card?
I've messed with it at all three ratios, and anytime I see lists that play it at 2 or 1, I don't blame them. It's not. I don't know the situations for it to be good. It needs to be where you Emers played or you Giant Rat, you get some recruiters out. So it's always almost like playing 3 Pot of Avarice in that regard, which I think I saw. Is it James right that was doing like 2 pot, 2 e-call?
Yeah, he was doing 2 pot of Avarice, 2 e-call, which I personally like less than 3 e-call, 0 pot, but I can kind of see it in his list because he had like Morphing Jar and shit. So
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're turboing stuff like that, they're both effectively a +2 in different ways, right? You're getting 2 cards off of the e-call. It's a little more situational, and then Pot of Avarice is a little less situational, but you're drawing the card, so it's not advancing your board state, which I think this deck likes to do. So that's why I'm like
+1, not +2, but yes.
+1. Right, right.
Yeah,
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 because the it's replacing the card. Yeah.
yeah.
So there are +1s in two different ways. In my opinion, I found that playing the third e-call over like a pot is better for this deck just because of advancing the board state is so important in this deck. So I'd rather try to get 2 x-sabers on field for a fall troll summon than trying to draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
But I like Avarice is fine. I've never had it. Like I played lists with Avarice and it's okay. And e-call I have thought about cutting it to 2 a lot. Like I think I'm just kind of fortunate that I don't open multiples
I think
as
this
often as I feel like I should.
this card is nice too because like unlike Pot of Avarice, it's chainable. So you can like
Yeah.
get extra value out of it that way, and then like it can also build you defense by like putting Full Helm in play, and then getting a negate attack out of it. And it can also like recur the synchros, which I think a lot of people tend to miss, but you can bring back
Yeah.
like Urbellum, Hyunlei, and Gotham's as well with
Which is
Gotham's e-call.
huge.
Yeah, it is. This is kind of
Yeah.
insane.
It's so huge.
So like really late in the game, if you've had like a little bit of back and forth, or if you had to go for like a mid ground combo, this card gets fucking crazy. So yeah, I do like
Yeah.
3, especially with level limit, because I think like once you get to level limit, Gotham's E-Call is kind of your best card because it can bring back like just a bunch of stuff like that gets you value under level limit, or can build armory arms under level limit or whatever. Like, um,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
also a more controlled +1. You know what you're summoning back off the Gotham's emergency call, but off Avarice it's like a random +1. And I don't know. I think you'd agree in that drawing cards in this deck is like not the most ideal thing at sometimes. And it's like I really don't want to like draw the cards right now. I need stuff on the field. Is
yeah,
what I tend to follow with.
yeah. I've had this discussion with like a billion other people, but like people will put like draw traps or like upstarts in this deck, and then like the issue with that is that you never want to draw double Airbellum pretty much ever. And so
Yeah.
every draw past the first draw of the turn or of the game is a is less chance you see cat and more chance you see double Airbellum. Like it's a higher you run the higher risk of drawing double Airbellum before you do draw cat every card after the first. So
Exactly.
that's why we play like what is it, like 7 copies of cat with the gold sarks. Like just tutor for cat and then try to tutor for it early and often, and then um, do it before you draw into the second Airbellum, basically. Yeah.
Right, right.
And then I guess the
Yeah,
elephant
one
in...
with the sword is that's oh yeah.
No, no, no. What were you going to say? The owl one with the sword?
Oh, like because that one with the sword does follow that same situation. That's why I don't like it. I'll be honest. The whole reason I don't like the stupid card is because it draws, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to be drawing at this deck. But I'm like, okay, you know what? It's like you use it later in the game, or like in a situation where you don't have shit. So like, it's I keep it in for now. But because it draws, I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
always
I'm
run the
not.
risk of hitting the Airbellum, bro. You always
Yes,
run the risk.
stupid Arabella, man.
I think like with at one with the sword, it's a little bit different because like if this ever resolves, it's just a hard +2. Like they lose a monster and you draw a card, and that's just
Yeah,
like that's
I'll
really
take
good.
it.
Yeah, like even if you draw the second
I'll take it.
Airbellum, at that point you're probably so far ahead that it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, the elephant in the room, I guess,
I'm a
triple fiendish, triple fiendish.
yep.
What were we gonna
Triple
say? I keep
Fiendish.
interrupting you, man. I think there's like a slight delay on the call or some shit.
Oh, no, I was just gonna ask a ruling question because I don't know this. If this thing attacks and kills a Raikou, do you still draw if they destroy the monster or the equip spell
I think you
or the
do.
equip trap?
I think you
You think you
don't.
still draw?
Wait, no, I think you don't. I think you don't. It's different from Full Helm
Yeah.
Knight because I think Full Helm Knight doesn't need to be in play to resolve, but I think one with the sword does need to be in play to resolve. So I think you don't, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. But I could be wrong about that.
That's what I'm not sure.
Someone might want to Google that and fact check me, but I'm pretty sure you don't. I could be wrong.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Anyway, Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain.
Fiendish Chain.
You play 3. This card is like notoriously ass. Why did you play 3 in your deck?
The whole idea behind the Fiendish Chains for I felt like I was Gold Sarking Giant Trinade a lot in this, way more often than I Gold Sark Heavy Storm or another form of sweeper. And when I play things like Mirror Force, Deep Prison, Bottomless, a lot of the time I'm getting rid of something that I want to crash into with my Airbellums to set up a Gotham's Emergency Call or set up the Rescue Cat main phase 2.
You mean Emrys Blades, right? Crash into with the Emrys Blades.
Yeah, crash into the Emrys Blades for Gotham's Emergency Call setup, or set up Crash Giant Rat for Rescue Cat in main phase 2 to shotgun that off.
Yeah, it just kind of
And
holds
so
the guy there so that you can crash into it with your
yeah,
creatures.
yeah. So and then the thing that I was noticing in my testing is I was having a pretty harder time than I felt like I should be having against Frog Hero. And I was kind of like steamrolling Blackwing decks. Like in the first WSOE, I think I played against like half of the room was like Blackwings. And I sweeped them. And then I played Pablo at the first WSOE, and he was on Frog Monarchs and he sweeped me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I keep losing to Frog Hero, and I don't like that I keep losing to Frog Hero. And since I'm steamrolling Blackwings, I'm gonna play the card that's like a little worse into the Blackwing matchup for a bit more favorability in the Frog Hero matchup.
Yeah, and I think Fiendish Chain is pretty darn good versus Frog Heroes. And like this deck, in theory, should destroy Frog Heroes, but depending on how many like traps and like what kind of traps they're playing, like that can get really awkward. And repeated Monarchs can make it kind of difficult for you to get 2 Saber names in play. So Fiendish Chain definitely
Yeah.
helps with making sure they can't just Monarch you to death. So it at least takes away one of those game plans. Do you ever have it
Yeah.
come up? Well, I mean, we're gonna watch your match. You do play against frogs in the top cut of this tournament as well, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see it in action. We'll see exactly how it does. I'm excited to see it. It is a cool card. I think if there is a deck that can use it, it's got to be a deck that has Giant Trunade and a deck that can
Yeah.
like spam Bryonic. And this is one of the decks that is able to do that. The other deck that plays Fiendish Chain was one that you mentioned. It was the one from the tier list, the Kimon's TV Hero deck with Trunade and Triple Fiendish, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I tried that out too, and I was like, this is great. I love this.
Yeah, Trunade plus Fiendish and Call, and like you said with that one with the sword and the level limit, that's
Yeah.
really sick. And like
Yeah.
you're kind of cheating on you're cheating on how many Trunade you play because of Gold Sark. Like you get to play 3 Trunade as opposed to other decks that don't get to play 3 of that power spell. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's really smart. Before we get into the matches, anything you want to say about the sideboard? It's very similar to your last one. Just moved some of the cards that were in the main to your side and added an extra Dust Tornado.
Yeah, the second dust and the mirror force are I don't know what those should be. If anyone has any better ideas, you can let me know. I'll check out the comments in this video. But those two cards I'm they were kind of just the cards that I think were in the main, and then I moved them into the side. Said like we'll figure out something for these later. Like it was mainly for if my Fiendish Chain idea sucked, games 2 and 3 I can go back to like what the original build was.
Yeah, that
And
that makes sense.
yeah. Extra I think is pretty standard. I know there's like a lot of talks on like 2 armory arms versus 1 armory arm. I it very seldomly comes up that I need the second one, but I felt like that comes up a bit more than the second high end lay.
Yeah,
It also I think depends on what your meta is. If your locals or wherever you're planning on competing, if you're anticipating like a lot of back row decks, I think the second high end lay will come up more. But if you're playing against a lot more frog hero matchups, then the second armory arm will come up more.
and it also does depend on like your build. I think if you're going heavier on
Yeah.
the trap stun, then Hyunlei is a little bit
better.
But like
Right?
ironically, it's funny because like if you flip trap stun, do you really need to blow up their back row? Can't you just like beat them that turn?
Yeah,
Like
can't you just win?
yeah, so it's kind of like
Beat
it's like a
clearly.
catch 22 where like you need a sweeper to make high on lane good. So it's like
Yeah.
it's just kind of weird. So I don't know. I do see what you're saying, like where the second one can come up. I've actually like I've played this deck a bunch, and I'll tell you right now, I have never needed a second Hyunlei, and I've actually rarely ever even needed a first. It is like it is the card I summon the least out of the extra deck by
Yeah.
far.
It's
Like,
niche. Because
yeah.
it has to be a situation where you resolved a trap stun, or you have Starlight Road and you can make a push through Torrential, but you're not gonna OTK. So it's which is rare because usually the moments where you're activating those sweepers, you're in a really favorable position. You wouldn't be doing so if you weren't dropping like your bomb.
Yeah. Like if Vultral's hitting the field, like you're not going for Hyunlei. You're going for fucking hand loop like crazy OTK
Yes,
shenanigans. Yeah. Like so
exactly.
I don't really know the situations in which you go for Houndlight. The last time I summoned it, I actually brought it out just to destroy my own level limit so I could OTK. That is
Yes, yes. That
yeah.
that is when it comes up actually.
Yeah, it's like
More often
just
than not.
destroy your own gravity bind or destroy your own level limit. But that's like literally the
Okay,
only times I ever summon it.
I did have another question about that. Uh, does level limit trigger? And if so, is it chain link 1 level limit, chain link 2 high and late, and then it pops it and it stays in attack?
I believe let me Google this just so I'm not spreading misinformation to the thousands of people that are gonna watch this. Hold up. I'm just gonna pull up the ruling. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say what I think. Maybe. Alright.
Yeah,
I
well, correct us in the comments. Where
yeah.
we gotta engage the
All the
comment
people who make up
section.
the rulings are gonna correct us in the comments. What is the card called? Level limit area B?
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
purposely give the wrong ruling.
Level limit area B. Okay. Does not use the chain. It's a continuous effect.
Okay, so we'll go to defense.
Yeah, it will go to defense. And that's the same thing with
Okay.
like
I
you
mean, it
can't
won't go
like
to defense. The triggers.
wait, what are you talking about? All level
Trying to
4
farm
get
comments.
the fuck out of here. Damn it, bro. God damn it. I already get enough like annoying ruling comments like a fucking Machina one. I got another Machina comment. Anyway, that's beside
Oh
the
no.
point. How do you feel about Iron Wall, Kaiku, Thunder King, Cyber Dragon? Sum it up in like 5 sentences and then we'll get into the gameplay.
Yeah. Monsters are to combat deck devastation virus. You essentially swap in 5 to 6 monsters to, and then you take out your giant rats, summoner monk, Sangan, cards that are going to die to the deck devastation viruses, and then you just have a more resilient cards for that matchup. Iron Wall is insane. It's the free win versus Vayu Turbo because you shut off D Prisons, Bottomless Vayus,
Kaya's Starcom
Caius.
Dragon, fucking
Yeah,
everything.
like it
Necrogardna
just
even.
that deck's wraps. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that matchup is wraps with that card. Like I was having a hard time with Vayu Turbo prior, and then I 3 Iron Wall. I was like this plus 3 Kaiku because you separate the amount of interactions, so like they have to deal with both, and usually that deck doesn't have a way to deal with both, so they both cook.
Yeah.
That's the quick 5 minute summary.
All right, sick. So yeah, floodgate your opponents and you will beat them, and that's how you beat Value
Yes.
Turbo. I feel like this deck already has like a pretty good Value Turbo matchup as it is because they don't really interact with you favorably. Like once again, the game plan of sweeper plus combo just destroys any sort of Blackwing style deck.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But I mean, Kaiku and Ironwall also have added bonuses that they stop DD Crow, which is one of the few things that can actually stop you when you go for your own combos, which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Gravity Bind. Gravity Bind is just another level limit. That's just the vibes.
For the Blackwing matchup, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good
And
shit.
Hero Beat. You just flip those and you win.
With this list, with this deck, is there a matchup you don't want to see? Is there a matchup where you're like, yeah, I don't want to play against that?
Probably Lightsworn. Lightsworn feels like the most high rolly matchup. It kind of just seems like both of us are fighting to bust, so it's like 50-50 on if they can accomplish their goal first before me. That one's been the one that I kind of get steamrolled by. I used to be a lot more afraid of Frog Hero, Vayu Turbo, and Black Wings, Deck Devastation. Anything with Deck Devastation is just really detrimental. But with this side and the siding pattern, I've just been having a lot more successes against those matchups. So I'm not really sure outside of other decks that kind of are trying to reciprocate the same idea of just stalling the game or finding a way to kind of just play their game plan and then they just drop bombs and then they're able to pop off before you.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. The scariest deck, I guess, would be Lightsworn against this. It's like you don't really have light mirrors. You don't really have any like super target cards. I mean, Fiendish plus Book is like a really solid combination versus Lightsworn. So, um,
Yeah.
I mean, you
It's
play
not,
against
yeah.
you play against Lightsworn in this top cut, so we'll just see it in the matches. We'll check it out. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just fucking get into it. We got a lot to cover. So, top 16. You're facing off against Pablo. You said you played him before in the last WSOE, and you knew he was playing Frog Hero, right? Is that correct?
I was going into it with the expectation that he was probably playing Frog Hero. I that was the first time I played against him was round one of the WSOE. And funny enough, if I would have beat Min, the Lightstorm player, in the WSOE number one, it would have been me and him again in the finals. So that would have been really funny. My two losses that at the first WSOE was literally first and second place, which is so funny. But yeah, so it was Pablo, and so this is kind of like me getting the run back against Pablo in Top Cut this time.
You win the die roll, which is huge. I mean, just against frogs, because they
Yeah,
start so negative when they go second. I think one of the reasons I never want to play frogs in tournament is how negative tempo they start when they go second. That's like really frustrating. And one of the nice things about x-sabers is like, especially like your list, you're never really starting super at a negative tempo because like Crash Emers get full helm or like just full helm book is like, or just full helm on its own is a great way to like um take advantage of the battle phase that you get going second, basically.
yeah. If there's probably gonna be a bit of time here before the match starts, a couple minutes. A quick word of advice for anyone that's playing this deck and they're playing against Frog Heroes: treasure your recruiters. Don't turn one set your recruiters if you know that they're on Frog Hero, especially games two and three when they could be putting in no one of crossouts. They're all very susceptible to getting monarched, and this deck only has five, so you're only seeing one in hand. And then the minute that one of them gets monarched, it's pretty much wraps. If you get your one recruiter banished, like the game's over.
Yeah, facts. Especially if you're going second. Like if you're going second, like you definitely don't want to T set if you can avoid it. Um,
Yeah,
Force them to commit a threat, and then you can maybe crash into it or whatever. So going first, it's not as bad to T set because they rarely monarch you on the first turn, especially not game one.
yeah.
Um,
And
but yeah,
usually you can make an assumption if I know you're on Frog Heroes and I set, you can probably guess that I have another recruiter in hand, and I'm just kind of like trying to extend through, kind of feel out the game, see if I can get some more information, and
yeah,
kind of use the recruiter that way. Or it's not
yeah.
a recruiter, and that's just like a set Arabellum or something else random, regular.
Set Sangin, something like that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
There's one thing I was gonna ask. Oh yeah, so right before this on the stream, you'll notice there's an hour and a half. If you guys want to see like a little bonus match, I did warm up Totagon before we played in top 16 or before we played our respective matches in top 16. And we played a little bit of a money match, quick draw versus X Sabers. And if you're trying to watch that matchup, it was actually a pretty cool match. We played two matches, I believe. We played one that was not for money, and then we played one that was for money. Check out the beginning of the stream on his channel, and you guys can get a little bonus footage too of us playing against each other. But yeah, so he starts off with Stratos, which is like kind of exactly what you want to see, right? Because that's gonna attack you, like,
Yep.
and he isn't gonna attack you. All right,
Oh, he yeah. Pablo is making the assumption here. I'm guessing that he knows it's X Saber, so he's not going to attack him my face down because he's assuming, oh, it's an Ember Splitter Giant Rat. So I'm not going to speed up the game plan. A lot of people who start understanding how to play against X Sabers kind of do the same thing, where they treat it as like zombies, where it's like you just don't attack in and like make the guess it's not a Goblin zombie.
yeah, yeah. The risk of attacking is like, or the risk of yeah, the risk of attacking is it's Giant Rat, and Giant Rat can get the Rescue Cat, and then you just fucking lose on the next turn. I think turn
Yeah.
one, you're the lowest risk though, because there's no grave establishment. So like, even if you grab Rescue Cat, you'd have to have like normal Emmer, special Faltrel. So you'd have to have two specific cards to follow up on the cat, and his backer would also have to not interrupt it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
attacking isn't the worst decision, but I understand why he doesn't do it because it just gives you less tutors. It gives you less.
It's only gonna help me.
Yeah.
Probably just accelerate the game plan.
Yeah. Stratos being in play is good for you though, because it's like low defense guy that you can crash into. So it's like,
Yep.
and you're not gonna take too much damage crashing into a Stratos. Like either 500 or 400 with a rat or a Amherst Blade is like very negligible. Frog Hero, even though they can OTK you, it just doesn't happen that frequently. So your normal Emers or your normal Airbellum here, is there like any consideration of like what his back row might be? Do you remember what your set monster is here?
I believe it's Emmer's Blade, and I think. Oh no, Sangan. Okay, so I think here this might be where I have a brain controller. I'm just gonna like synchro to high and just like try to deal with the back row, and then get Rescue Cat off the Sangan.
I don't think you can make high inlay here.
Or
Legal.
no, sorry, not high and what was I gonna make here?
This looks like
It's either that or I'm planning on brain controlling for Urbellum and
stacking his hand.
yeah, trying to see here what I was thinking about doing.
Huh.
I think he's thinking on the summon. Okay.
Yeah, here we get
Yeah, I think the plan here is probably like to make a Goyo or make a Brio maybe, and just I needed to synchro the Sangan away to get Rescue Cat because I think that was the last piece I needed. I think at this point I might have had it. So now here I gotta drop the Gold Sark. I think this was the game where I opened Gold Sark, but I chose not to do it because what was my game plan? No, okay, you know what? I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up this whole game.
Yeah, this was
this whole
this
thing up
this
because
is super fucked. You can just crash Sangan, search cat.
yeah,
Yeah, right?
yes, 100%. Yes. And that was my brain. I think at this point was like, "Oh yeah, I need the other puzzle piece." And then I like out of force of habit, I just put the rescue cat in there, and then when I look at my hand and the board again, I'm like, "Oh god, I did the wrong puzzle piece. I'm fucked."
I mean, in a
like
way, like
and then,
no, this is just not good. This is just a misplay.
no, this was so bad. Yeah, this was really really bad.
Oh my god. Okay.
And the funny thing here was like my whole reason to not activate in the Gold Sark turn one was because I had Sangan and I was gonna search for Summoner Monk to pitch the Gold Sark for the Rescue Cat, and then I just completely like I don't know. I think I was coming into this like too tired and just not playing tight. But
Yeah.
here you see a clear Fiendish Chain activates, it resolves, and this is really good for me.
Yeah, that's insane. Any tuner here,
Yeah.
you just take the Ryza, he has no defense, like you get a search off Sangan, like and then next turn you're getting cat. So like what do you search off Sangan here though once cat is down? Is it like full helm? Is that like the best play?
It's either that or Emmer's Blade. I go for like either recruiter just to get more value or like better follow up. My usual train of thought is like going for follow up in the form of Emmer's Blade or Gotham's Emergency Call. If I'm searching like off of Gold Sark and I already have all my pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, so here we attack.
Take the Ryza. Opponent doesn't even have
the
Treeborn.
Ryza.
But he does have
No.
Evil Guy. So he could go like for an Evil
He has
Guy.
Prodigy.
Do you have another Fiendish? That's the real question. That is what everyone wants to know. Is there a second Fiendish chain set?
Fiendish.
I think
it's book.
You think it's book?
I
Okay.
think it's book.
If it's book,
think
then
it's book.
why did you not book the Ryza, run it over with full helm, get the Airbellum, and go for a hand rip? Is there fear of like ripping a Treeborn Frog, or are you just scared of like proccing a Gores that you have to deal with afterward? Like what is the thought process there?
How do I do full home? Or
If
did I
it-
summon full home? Oh, I summoned full home.
Yeah, you synchroned with Sangan and full helm.
I think just trying to keep resources. I like to keep things like a book in case I need to like break a dupe block or if something else is gonna like happen. So if I don't like, and then it depends if I need to have Faltral in hand for me to say like, oh, that plays like the play.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
yeah,
you're
that
getting
seems like
cat.
it could have been better.
You're getting cat next turn. Yeah, because if you hand rip him and you hit his evil guy, like he just has no follow up and he loses. So
That or I hit the Substitute unless he just drew this. He must have just drawn the Substitute, right?
yeah, I think he would
I'd
have
have been like,
maybe gone for it last turn. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
I feel like it probably would have been that because I think You wouldn't rise on the set, Sangan? Maybe. Yeah, that's hard.
So he wrote it for Ocean. He has, what, 3 cards in hand? 2 cards in hand? Something like that? I don't know. He's just getting fucked, man. You drew Giant Rat. I saw that. It's not very good once you have Cat, but it, like, still is a body, I guess, that you can summon and attack with.
Yeah, gets you into X-Sabers, so can't complain.
You have to have Full Troll here. I mean, there's no reason to do this without Full Troll.
Yeah. And then I think I had the book set. So from here, I think it was just going to be wraps. I was going to like rip the whole hand. This is, okay, something I do want to preface, everyone. I've been playing this deck for like 2 years. I'm still not playing it. Like, I think after this tournament too, my friends were like commenting on like plays I could have done better as well. I'm not playing this deck perfect at all by any stretch.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just that good. Like, it's so good that, like,
yeah.
even playing it, like, at 50% or, like, 75% is, like, definitely good
Yeah,
enough
like
to
the
win.
combo is just so strong. And so it's like in that game right there, it's like I went for the Gothams and then I'm like ripping his hand and Paulo's just like, I don't want to see anymore.
He
I don't think he
literally
cared that I
he literally loses. I think the best play for you there actually is to so you made the Gothams. Had you already used the Fall Troll's effect? I think you're supposed to use Fall Troll effect, rip a card out of his hand, then sack the Fall Troll, rip a card out of his hand, then for one, get the Fall Troll back, make Armory Arm. Um, right? Is that the? I don't know. We're not gonna
that
get into it.
that actually sounds, yes. I think I could have done that
It doesn't
and that
matter.
actually seems a lot better.
It doesn't
See,
matter. It
exactly.
doesn't matter because you won
Exactly.
anyway. You won by so much. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, like, but that's so true. Like, just getting, especially in the fall troll, using the effect, synchroing, and then doing the 1-for-1, getting the fall troll back because you still have two sabers on field with the Arabellum and the Gothams. Like
Yeah, the one for
that,
one turns into like
that line is so
three
much
bodies or
cleaner.
whatever. Yeah, I think that's like
Yeah,
something that as an extender, a lot of people don't realize. Like 1-for-1 isn't just Regiguro. 1-for-1 is Regiguro, Fall Troll, and another Saber in play all in one turn, which is
yes.
like that is fucking crazy.
At at worst, the card is a second saber,
Yeah,
which
like
is like that's really good.
yeah, it's still like exactly what you need in order to beat people. All right, you guys sideboard. Whatever. What do you side in this matchup? Do you side the Iron Walls? Do you side the
The
Kaikus?
the iron ones come in. A lot of my sweepers come out. And I think for this game, I was trying the two Kaikus to see if those break through, and then I did not like the Kaikus.
Okay.
Those I think come out.
So you're probably not going to be siding Kaiku in this matchup in the future.
I don't think so. I do keep trying it because I'm like, if this connects, it seems broken, and it just never connects.
You have to find the opportunity for it to connect, and there's just never that opportunity, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
So he's got his 1-for-1 this game, which is busted. So he's going to have his broken start of 1-for-1 Stratos. That's like part of the big draw of playing Frog Hero is literally this start.
It has an insanely strong opener, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's fine, but it's like at the end of the day, like you don't give a shit about a dupe block. Like, do you care about a dupe block with X-Sabers? I feel like you don't.
no, I don't. The thing that I found to be very miserable about this matchup, and that could also partly be why I'm not very favored in it, but once I can find a combo push, I'll do it. And then that combo push leads me with me ripping their hand, but I don't kill them, and I like lose all my follow up to like rip the entire hand. And it punishes me every time because this deck has a much stronger array of top decks compared to my deck.
Yeah, they have
So
like Top Deck Miracle, Top Deck Monarch are both really annoying.
yeah, and so I need to figure out a way, and I don't know what's the like specific sequence of cards that I need to say like, this is the appropriate amount of cards I need to push while keeping follow up, because that's the hard thing. Because like we can't always be looking for like the double fall troll 1-for-1 stuff, because I think at that point we're just gonna die if we try to like hold out for that long to find all those combo pieces to do like the full loop.
Yeah.
So that is where I feel like this deck, if you end up in a top deck state against this deck after like ripping their whole hand, it's pretty miserable. But you also have to do that because it deals with all their like existing like monarchs and miracles that they're holding for you to make a push.
All right, I have a suggestion. For this
Yes.
matchup. For the sideboard, you said Mirror Force, Dust Tornado. You don't know what the fuck those are supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think for this matchup, this is like a great torrential tribute matchup. Like if you have torrential tribute,
Ooh.
it's just no bullshit,
Yeah.
answers everything they do, and it gives you like if you ever draw torrential versus frogs, it's gonna be a +2 at most or at least, and
Yeah.
it's basically always gonna buy you at least like 2 turn cycles, maybe even 3 turn cycles, and it can buy you even more than that because like if they ever put Duplock in play and you set torrential, they have to just respect that for the rest of the game. They either have to
Yeah.
draw Space Typhoon or Heavy of their own, or they have to play into the torrential and get 3 for 1. So
Right. Right.
I think torrential tribute is probably the single best card versus Hero Frog. And then if you were to side another card specifically for Hero Frog, that's also kind of a catch-all. Um, I would honestly say, nah, just torrential tribute. I think that would be like a great use of that sideboard slot that you're like kind of uncertain
Yeah.
about.
I agree. I think the side card has to deal with fossil and vanities, so I actually really like that torrential idea for that as well.
Yeah. Also, like additionally, if you wanted like more absolute zero or Dyna or vanities outs, like compulsory, and compulsory in this deck,
Yeah, compulsory is really good.
yeah, it's really good.
Is so good. Yeah, the fact that you can use it to bounce back a fall troll. Actually, I forgot why I took that out. But that
Yeah,
card was great when I was playing this deck.
yeah, and it can answer absolute zero, which is really important. And you just put something in the
Yes.
hand. It doesn't matter if you put something in the hand because you're gonna discard it. Like it's like you kill anything
Yeah.
card. Yeah, it answers
Yes.
Stardust. And another nice thing about it, specifically with your deck, is you can play compulsory under Iron Wall. So like against Vayu
Yeah.
Turbo, you could even side in compulsory and Iron Wall, or against like Diva
Yes.
Hero or Diva Frogs or whatever, you can still have a live card in tandem with that Iron Wall. So
Yeah, compulsion torrential are great options.
yeah. All right,
I think
moving on.
here, yeah, I think here it's he pass, IT set pass. I think he passes. On here, I think I'm trying to go for like an Arcanite line
Is there a reason to go for
to
Arcanite here
try
instead
to
of
break
Black
the Duplock.
Rose? Isn't Black Rose
Oh, I
better?
think it is. It probably is Black Rose. I think I do try Black Rose here because it'll leave us at 4 cards and 4 cards, and then I'm gonna try to Gold Sark for a fall troll. I didn't like that set book. I when I did the T set, I'm like I kind of realized I should have just set the Kaiku and passed and not set that Book of Moon.
Yeah, the Book of Moon might have made him hesitant to summon a Monarch that turn though. So like
Potentially.
yeah, you do have 1 for 1 here. I noticed this play live because I was standing right next to you. You 1 for 1 and then don't activate Ragigura, which is the most obvious Gotham Z call I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
I actually think that that's a mistake. I think you just hold the 1 for 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it, but I think my hand was just it was nothing, and I was like, you know what? This is like 2 X-sabers on field and like a monster negate, and I don't know how his deck is gonna interact with it outside of like having to play. He has to special summon Prodigy or Treeborn, and he has to either drop the Vanities Fiend, or I do it on the summon of the Treeborn, like, or it's gonna be a Monarch and I can react to it. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this. I
I
think I
think you
did
just
it
I think you just
because
play
I was
nothing.
afraid of dying.
Yeah, like, I think you
Yeah,
just play nothing. You're at 8,000. Like, what is he gonna do?
yeah. Who you know who scared me shitless about thinking that I'm gonna live against Frog Hero? What's Ralnuk? Raw
Yeah, 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 Round.
the Yeah, every time I'm at like 7k plus life, I'm like, surely he can't kill me, and then he finds a way to lethal me. I'm like, okay, I gotta stop like respecting that. I gotta stop respecting thinking that they're not gonna kill me and just play defensive. I think he traumatized me, but that doesn't happen as often.
So here you actually make an illegal play, and I wanted to comment on this too because I was watching the match live. But he declares an attack on the Regagura, and you activate Gotham Z Call to special summon your monsters back, and then
Yeah, I
in
make
the
sure to
re
specify to him,
was it start of battle
or yeah, go
phase?
ahead. Yeah, like I mentioned it to him, like, oh, when you enter battle, I'm gonna activate the emergency call,
Okay,
but that
okay.
is huge.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if you
Yeah.
let him attack your Regigura, then when the redeclare happens, you can't actually negate with full Helm Knight.
Yep, yep.
So
And you have to you have to let your monster die. So it's always, if you activate emergency call in the battle step, you have to activate at the start of battle step. Otherwise, you don't have any other window where you can activate it other than like attack declaration.
yeah,
And if you're trying to do a full helm negate, it's not gonna work.
yeah. So in this matchup, actually, another thing that I've like thought about and done in the past is I side out some of my Gotham Z calls and Call of the Haunted because they're like slow extenders and you have to commit them to the board, and this deck really beats up on you for committing to the board. So I feel like food for thought for the next matchups. Obviously in this game I think the best play with the 1-for-1 was just not going for it.
Playing it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Because Night Phase 2 is so weak.
you literally traded two of your best, like three cards for like it was like a frog and like
Yeah.
junk
It
synchron,
was
like
so bad. After that Black Rose result, I'm like, that play was so terrible.
yeah, it's like you can just hold the 1-for-1 until you find a fall troll, and he has to find a way to like beat you. You could even
Yeah,
set the
I
Gotham
agree.
Z call to bluff some shit. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, like even losing
That
the Gotham Z
that
call is
ultimate
probably
miserable.
better than holding the 1-for-1. Like you went 1-for-1 regular and no effect. Like it is so obvious what you have. Like he can play around it. He has 7 cards. He's gonna choose how to play around it. You know. You lose this
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
right? Like this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah. I figured. Yeah.
I think I say let's just go to game 3.
Yeah. He can't bring anything back, but oh, he can. He brings back Stratos. No, we lost Totagon. No. Totagon, come home.
Are you still there? Hello, hello.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my god. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna share the screen again. Oh my gosh. Must have been like an internet spike or something. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Alright, let me try and share the screen again. I'm leaving all this in the vid, fuck it. I ain't editing shit. Anyway, moving on. Top 16, game 1, game 2. It still says game 1, but this is game 2 because you fucking smoked
Yep.
him.
The unfortunateness of me forgetting to update the stream titles.
But that's fine. I
The
mean, like
stream
you're in the
title.
middle of a serious match here, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like also producing a stream thing, and people really don't understand how hard it is to break your like compartmentalize your mental capacity to stream and or record and like play a game at the same time. It is much
Yeah,
harder.
like make sure. Yeah.
Like if you weren't streaming or you weren't like doing the whole production setup, like I feel like you would just level up because you don't have to
Yeah.
like worry about it, you know? Yeah.
Yep. You don't have to like break your thought process for the stream.
Anyway,
It's like it matters a lot more than people think.
yeah. Game 3 going first. It looks almost identical to game 1. T set, and then he's got Stratos. Do you think he's gonna attack this time? Looks like he has Dust Shoot in hand too.
So we're gonna see the hand, I believe.
Yeah. We're gonna see your hand, not his, because you don't have Dust Shoot.
Yeah.
I like Pablo's
Yep,
shirt.
this
It's like
deck-
all the Toon monsters. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he was wearing a nice shirt. Another quick thing: do not play Dust Shoot in X-Sabers. Do not play Dust Shoot in X-Sabers. This is the one deck you cannot play Dust Shoot in, unfortunately, because the 90% of the time that you draw it, it's either going to be dead or it's going to be a dead card, and this deck can't afford like dead draws. And the fact that your combo involves ripping out their hand, if you've succeeded in that, then the Dust Shoot's going to be dead. So it's like no matter what, you never really care what's in their hand because you're discarding it. And knowing that like hand knowledge 10% of the time versus it being dead 90% of the time, it's gonna lose you way more games than it's gonna win you. So just you unfortunately accept that we do not play Dust Shoot in this deck.
I 100% agree with that. I also want to like take that like one step further, with regards to like the nature of cards like Dust Shoot. Dust Shoot fundamentally is just a 1-for-1 card. And this deck is not playing that kind of game. This deck is playing like we have something that wins. We have an auto win combo basically that puts you above and beyond card advantage. So every single thing that's in this deck needs to get you to position that auto win combo. Like, and every card that you're wasting trying to play like a 1-for-1 game, stuff like Dust Shoot, Deep Prison, Bottomless, even Mirror Force to some degree. I mean, Mirror Force is a great card because it's more than just 1-for-1, but um, all of those cards are not contributing to the deck's game plan, and they are weakening your deck's game plan. So, yeah, definitely agree with you on all your points, and just like the general nature of like 1-for-1 cards in this deck. Your hand's insane, by the way. It's just Cat, Fall Troll, Mind Control.
The hand's cracked.
Yeah, he has to take Fall Troll.
Fall Troll back.
Yeah.
And then I think here I go like Mind Con, Rescue Cat, and just try to rip hand.
Yes.
Or we'll see what I do here.
I don't hate that play, but do you have like Trap Stone or something? Like he has 2 back row.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm like thinking about now. I'm like, yeah, I really don't like this into double back row.
You could have even just summoned the Airbellum.
Just the one.
Yeah.
And I think I do get punished for it because I think I try to go battle. He goes threatening to rat at the start of battle.
I mean that's still a +1.
Yeah.
It's still +1.
I think I do this because I have a set Sangan.
Did you try to steal his ulti Stratos there? Is that
no
a little bit of theft?
Monka W.
Oh shit.
Monka W.
Oh shit. Yeah. Sangan, okay. Chain Dust. He's trying to get your Got Z call before you have 2 Sabers. Makes sense. Synchro Goyo, and then he has no Frog.
Yeah. You can tell Pablo's a little bit well versed in this matchup. He's understanding the tricks that my deck can do. He's not playing around him.
He knows what to do against you for sure. What'd you search there off off Sangan? Was that Full Helm Knight? I couldn't tell.
It's either
Let me go
probably back. Full Helm because I had Book in hand. I believe it was Full Helm because I had the Book of in hand.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is.
A way to get tempo. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the other thing I noticed here, when Pablo played his Stratos, he searched Ocean. And that was already telling me that like he already had the Prodigy in hand or he didn't he took it out. He sided it out.
Yeah, because Prodigy's like the only way you can follow up the Stratos if your Stratos gets murked, yeah.
And then here he proceeds just an also an alias, and that's when I realized, oh, he just
fucking loses.
Cut his Prodigy here, and that's a really bad position to be in.
No, yeah, he just loses here. I think this game's over.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard for him to... I mean, that's the thing with Frog decks, is like when you go second, you have to have that like Prodigy type card.
Yes.
Or you just lose. You just fucking lose. Yeah. Like, you just backfoot the entire game. Your opponent can just put 2 cards into play, and then you're just like, I can only ever answer one of these. He can maybe Miracle Fusion to stabilize here. That would be like the one saving grace. But then, even then, you already got the hand rip, and you still have Full Helm Book, and he has to crash the 0.
He's going to be really behind, yeah.
Yeah, like...
if he tries to make a play like that.
Yeah. And you can rebuild so much more easily because of Full Helm Book. T-set pass. He looks like he's checked out. He's like, all right, it's been fun, Totegon. GG's.
It's wraps. I think I try to go to battle, get T-roared.
That's fine. You can make Gotems and then just rip his last card.
The last card out of his hand, and it's a Caius, and that was the thing that told me, oh, this guy took out his Prodigy, and that's no good.
Yeah, I think that's a huge mistake on his part. Prodigy's a very important card going second.
I think it's very integral.
He top decks another Caius, which keeps him in the game, but you still have Full Helm Book, so it's like...
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, this shows the strength of Full Helm Book as like a comeback play in X-Sabers.
Especially against Monarchs. That 1200 defense is so huge. Yeah, if there's me looking at the grave, and then I'm like, okay, what's the play here? Normal flip.
You actually have some pretty crazy plays here. I think one of the things you could have done was like crash the Emmer's Blade, get Ragigura, add something back. Like you're still so high that you could like position yourself really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
100%.
it also gives you the option. because he's at 1900 after this, right? After all
Yeah.
that, you can end with a position that gets you to Armory Arm, and then Armory Arm can burn even against absolute zero for game. So even top deck Miracle
Right.
here for
Right.
him would be shut out. So,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really matter. I mean, like you're just so far ahead that one top deck's not gonna
Deck's too
fucking do
broken.
anything.
The deck's too nuts.
It's
It's
really
crazy.
good. When you go first against Frogs, it feels like
Crazy.
an unlosable
It's,
matchup.
yeah. Maybe that's my problem because I never win die rolls.
Yeah, skill issue. All right, moving on. Top eight. Top eight. Everyone at this
Or
point was like, "Oh shit, he actually won." Because I remember I was watching part of your game too, and then I lost to Monster Gamer so fast. I was playing against him, and he deck dev'd me game one for 6 cards, and I was just like, I don't know why I played. I
cringe.
was just like, dude, I should just
Damn
only
you,
ever
monster
play
gamer.
dragons. That's why I don't play anything but dragons in tournament because I hate losing to fucking hand loop shit. But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. I really want to play that Blizzard Dragon deck. That shit looks so good.
I wanted to play
I
it
need to I
too,
need to actually play it.
but I love Dandelion, and like not getting to
Yeah,
play
me
Dandelion
too.
makes me sad. It's kind of like my x-sabers, you know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I have to play the
I feel that.
Dandelion deck. Um, but yeah, I think the next time I enter a tournament, I'm gonna play. I just don't get a lot of opportunities to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, which is like
Yeah.
weird considering I play it every single day. I just don't get to play it in like big tournaments that often.
Yeah.
I am thinking about going to the 3v3, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Um,
Okey-dokey.
Pause champ,
Hello.
pause champ,
Pause champ.
pause
Okey-dokey.
champ.
Hello. Wait, did you were you saying stuff? It cut out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you going to the Edison 3v3 on the 27th?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I should be going to that 3 with you. I think it's gonna be me, Nate, and Angie. We're gonna planning on teaming up for that.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. That's fine.
Why did you want to go?
I'll just watch.
Are you?
Honestly, I'll just watch.
You
It's
just
cool. I'll bring a chair and I'll
um
put it in the corner and I'll just watch you guys have fun. That's that's cool. I didn't want to team with my teammate anyway. I didn't want to team
I
with
can
Team D boys.
I
No,
can
that's cool. That's not a big deal.
I can ask Angie. No, I can ask
No, I'm just
Angie
playing.
if she
I'm just
wants
I'm just
to
playing, dude. I'm just
find
playing,
another
dude. I'm probably
team.
gonna.
It's okay.
I think I'm gonna team with Jacob and Monster Gamer. Anyway, we're getting into this. You get
Dude,
deck dev for
and
3. Turn 1. He did the same shit to me, but I need to talk about this turn because Monster Gamer and I, we drove out from Vegas to play in this event, and the entire drive back we talked about this game versus you. The entire, like, literally for 4 hours we talked about this game, and I decided that the biggest mistake, the game losing mistake, was the first turn of the game,
Yep.
which what happened just now. So I'm gonna rewind the tapes a little bit. So he goes turn 1, Gale Bora, make Armor Master, right? Set back row pass. Then you go draw, and this is where the mistake happens. There, right there. Did you see it? He flipped the deck dev.
Did you see it?
Did you see it? I'm gonna break
See it.
down. I'm gonna break down why this is such a mistake. Now, normally, when you deck dev in the draw phase, it's because you want to see all the hand, right? You want to see all the you want to see the back row.
Information.
Yes,
Yep.
but in his hand, which we are gonna find out shortly, is the card Heavy Storm. So when you do have a sweeper with deck dev, like when you have Heavy Storm Trunade with deck dev, there's really no reason to need to see that back row because you're going to get rid of it anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so
Yep,
what
yep.
he should do... Wait, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, and I feel like they're never almost going like it's never going to happen where your opponent is going second against an armor master in a back row. It's very rare that they're not going to like maybe like set a monster and then on the monster set you can do it. Like you can wait for an action to happen because more often than not, I don't think the first action is going to be like setting your back row.
Yeah.
And then if it is setting your back row, you're probably setting like a bunch of back row. So and then deck dev, you might as well just not tribute your guy if they're like setting like 4 back row.
Yeah, and then you can use deck devi as a way to like blink into a D prison or beta D prison. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's this shotgunning it in the draw phase is like such a huge mistake. It's like a game losing mistake. And
Yeah.
the big thing that people forget with deck devi is they're like, oh, I can just rip their hand and I win. But
Yep.
one thing they forget is like deck heavy's also not only is it a hand rip, but it's a fucking turn skip. Like it
Yeah.
you can wait till your opponent summons a monster, uses their normal summon, and then you get to kill their whole turn as well. You kill their battle phase, you kill their main phase. You can just wait till the end phase to deck dev if you have heavy storm in hand. And so
Yeah.
and you can also use it as like a way to like bait a back row too. Like swing with the armor master, deprison. Okay, chain deck dev. So even if like let's say even if you set like multiple back row, he goes heavy storm, you road. You can still like attack with the armor master and like force your Stardust to negate the deck dev and everything.
You can still react to it. The other
Yeah.
thing, or if you want to pause it here with the hand,
Yeah.
it's all in book. The other thing about this that I didn't like. So first off, when he did normal special and then set one and make the armor master, I'm like, okay, so this was a -1 synchro. So I'm kind of going into this like already thinking like it has to be like a deck W pass because that play in itself is so weird.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't expecting him to do this because I'm like, it's three cards, right? Like you committed 3 cards, your deck devastation virus and your 2 blackwings to do this, and I feel like if you're committing that much and it's not like a gruffer pitch to do it, it's the value's not there. Like you have to. I feel like you have to play reactively. That's kind of the thing that I was.
Yeah. You're hoping to hit three cards up front, and even against x-sabers, like let's look at the deck, right? 3 cards up front is half the hand, which realistically would have to be 50% of the deck. And if we're looking at your deck list, it's 3 Emers, 1 Ragigura, so that's 4, and then another 7 on the bottom row, so it's 11 cards. So 11 out of 40 are hits for deck dev, which is a significant amount, but it's not half the deck. It's not on average going to be half the hand. So
this
even
was
from like
a 3 for 3.
Yeah, it literally was a 3 for 3. But it was done at the wrong time. I think even as a 3 for 3 or even a 3 for 2, like even if you only hit 2 of your cards, if he got your full turn with it, it would have given him the initiative and it would have given him the game. But because he does it in the draw phase, it gives you a chance to summon this Airbellum and then hit a card out of his hand, and now it turns into a 4 for 3, and you hit his heavy storm. So like now your back row is just live. And he has to play through Solemn Book, Airbellum with Blackwings.
Yeah.
Which is just...
Card for card, I have him matched. And he's kind of cooked at that point.
Exactly.
Dealing 3 cards for 3 cards with an Airbellum and a book. Like, it's pretty cooked.
So, normally what would be an insane card versus versus X-Sabers is getting big punished because you do have that Airbellum, and he did do it at the wrong time.
And that's kind of one of the things that this deck kind of capitalizes on. Fortunately, the card that is over 1,500 attack points is the one that actually favors you just kind of shotgunning that card. So even more reason against X-Sabers to like not want to play that.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got Book Solemn, and he's got 2 monsters in hand, and you're just thinking like, damn, I fucking win at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I was shocked you didn't Solemn this card and then rip the other card with the Airbellum. I thought for sure.
Train of thought here. I was like, well, I didn't even want to do the book, honestly, because I'm like, he gets a Blizzy, and I could probably deal with the Blizzy. But then I was like, I'm just going to 1-for-1 take the challenge here, because they're usually so low on Blackwings. And he already lost a Boros, so it's like 8 cards. It's like 8 cards that he has to find for that Whirlwind to like get more value.
I'm gonna counterpoint you here, actually. I think that you have to stop this Kalut, because if you don't stop this Kalut, he searches Vayu, and then Vayu plus Armor Master just beats the fuck out of you, even if you discard it from his hand. Because he can make a Silverwind that can't be solemned, and then you can't get over it with Book.
Right, because he has the Armor Master. Yeah, that makes my hand rip like way worse for me.
Yeah,
That's
so
huge.
I thought you would definitely solemn this and then just hand rip his last card, because you know it's not Vayu, because he's trying to search Vayu with Kalut. But
that makes sense. I thought he was trying to go for a Blizzard. That was my read. And
yeah,
then I get rewarded here.
Yeah, you just rip Mind Control. But once again,
I just rip Mind Control like a
statistically speaking, in the top 7 cards of your deck, 2 to 3 of them should be deck heavy targets, just based off of like raw game 1 numbers.
After hitting 3?
Yeah, after hitting 3, you should have 4 non-deck heavy targets. Like, that is more statistically likely. So even though you say you get lucky, it's like this is what is going to happen a majority percentage of the time. And then main phase 2, you synchro here.
Like not a deck heavy.
So the synchro here is really, I guess, is interesting, but He also didn't have to synchro here.
Yeah. Oh, what, you just like give it back the Kalut?
I don't know. I guess synchroing is fine. You get Goyo Guardian. I just feel like if he draws like a dead card, I guess you give him back the Kalut. Yeah, it's kind of ass. I really liked Solemning the Kalut, but Solemn is a better card to have than Book. Yeah. It is very unlucky for him that one of his cards was Whirlwind. Because Whirlwind, like, he has to play it, and he has to 2-for-1 himself into your summon stops, basically.
That was the other thing to me where that deck Devy's tunnel versus like summoning the I don't know if you want to pause really quick. If he had Whirlwind, why not summon the Bora like under Whirlwind and
he top decked Whirlwind for turn. He top decked it for turn.
Oh, he top decked Whirlwind. Okay,
yeah,
that's what it
was.
Okay.
He had Heavy Storm Kalut and like one other card. And then I think he top decked the Whirlwind. I think his
Bora Gale.
Yeah, I think his last card is Sirocco. I think he had Sirocco in hand. If I remember correctly.
I forgot it's whatever I ripped off the airball.
Anyway, you find Rhoda. You find Rhoda, which is literally, I said this in the James Wright video. I said it's always correct to play the Rhoda over the third full helm, and it came up for you immediately.
Here. I know.
I
cannot believe that.
Dude, this whole game, so clean.
So you see the effectiveness of like why 2 and 1, and for this specific reason too. It was the whole reason why I pivoted to that. I was like, oh yeah, I really like this idea of like being able to mitigate while still having access to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here he true nades your Solemn. Dude, this negate attack is so good, and his Gale is gone, so he like can't fucking do anything. He's just like stuck, and like you just negate his attack if he goes for it. Yeah. That being said, you're kind of in a bad spot. So.
Because Kalut here answers the board. I was like, fuck. I'm so annoyed that Kalut just answers the board.
Yeah, it kind of does. It depends on what you draw, but yeah, it's kind of bad for you.
Yeah, it puts me in a I need to draw well for this to work. And so at this point, I was like, I cannot believe I got to this point in the game, and I still feel like I might just lose this whole thing right now.
He got really lucky to rip the True Nade. And he also got really lucky that the True Nade and the Heavy Storm were in the spots that they were in. Like, if you switch Heavy Storm and True Nade there, like, Summon Sirocco does fucking nothing. You know what I mean? Like, he has to blow up his own Whirlwind. But True Nade was really good for him there. Yeah. He forces a full Helm Knight, attack, negate, and then you homie moved him here, by the way. He said pass, and then he said attack the full helm after he said pass. And you homie, you let him do it.
Yeah.
And that's just like good guy Totagon shit. That's why you should subscribe to Totagon. Totagon plays on YouTube and follow him on Twitch. Get him to 1,000. Just because such a stand-up gentleman, honestly. Anyway, moving on. What do you draw here? I don't remember what you draw. It's just a back row, right?
I think it's dead. I think it's just a bluff to try to stop the target, like the Solemn from getting targeted and like by an MSD or something random.
What could be dead? Here, what could be dead? I think isn't it Fiendish Chain? Isn't that what you drew?
No. I feel like it's like Heavy Storm or like True Nade. I think it's True Nade.
Oh, okay.
I think I drew True Nade and was like, this just does nothing for me right now.
He could summon the Kalut and then like Sirocco Pomp. But then he's
just attacking over the Goyo.
But then you could Solemn the summon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just forced to attack.
Is correct here.
Kills the full helm.
Kill the card that doesn't use the Goyo.
Yeah. Pass turn.
And he goes. Here I'm just
Jar of Greed. He draws for turn.
Trying to see if he'll do something other than just like attacking into the Goyo with the Sirocco.
Upstart puts you in pretty high, 83.
9K.
Yeah.
63, 83. Yeah. The fact that he's at 700 here is so nice for me too. I'm like, at the very least, I'm not getting brain conned. It's very good light point range to be at.
And it also means like if you brain con, you just instantly win. So he trades Kalut with Goyo here, and he has 2 cards in hand. I think one's another Sirocco, if I remember correctly, and then one is like just random back row. You draw a set pass, so like
and that
really unfortunate because
I think that's the Fiendish.
You got like a certain level of ahead here, and then you couldn't capitalize on it.
Not a, yeah, yeah, which is kind of the problem with this deck at times. Like if you just don't find your fall trolls or your pieces,
Or your Gotham's
you're kind of
E-Call.
just playing from behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you need to find those, which is why I'm like I play them at six, because I'm like I kind of can get myself there if I have the max odds at seeing anything. So
Yeah.
I keep them all maxed.
It's not just that 6, it's also the 2 gold stars as well, and you haven't seen any of those 8 cards here, which is just
Yes.
really unlucky.
Yep.
Fiendish on the
Yep.
Sirocco, and then this is the other misplay that I talked to him about a lot on the drive back. Even though you have Solemn, and if he tributes for his second Sirocco, you can Solemn it. That
Mhm.
means his back row is then live to defend himself. I don't know what his back row is, but his back row becomes live if it's like something that defends
I
him.
see.
And then
Yeah, yeah, because right now I have his background checked with the solemn until he
yeah,
chooses to
and then
force out the solemn.
also passing the turn is like a turn skip. Like he didn't use his normal summon. And so like
Yep.
every turn that passes where you get extra draws, it's like better and better for you. He's not win. He doesn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
inevitability here because he's at 700. He can't oppression you. He can't brain control you, but you could always brain control him, or you could always top into a combo and just close the 700 out like really easily. So, um,
yeah.
yeah, I think this is where you go for like, oh no, it's not this turn. It's next turn. But he like doesn't tribute summon the Sirocco that turn, and then he checks his graveyard a
No,
little bit here.
I think he tries to do it this turn.
I don't think he does. I think he just passes again, if I remember correctly. So he makes the same misplay 2 turns in a row. Um, yeah, he just passes again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, if he
like,
has a Sirocco there, I feel like you gotta try to accelerate the game state. Like just get rid of the solemn, because then it's gonna make me less likely to make a push.
yeah, it honestly that's like, it's just like even though your Sirocco gets solemned, it's like then you have to factor in back row when you go for your thing. But here's 1 for 1,
And then
and
this,
you just win. Like this is just game, because 1 for 1
I think this is
gets
an e-call set or something, or it's
whatever it is.
I go that.
It doesn't matter what it is because you have Solemn for his 1 back row, and you can very easily combo kill him. And you e-call chain to the Regigura effect to play around Torrential
Regular
Tribute.
effect, yeah. And then that's reps, yeah.
Yeah. And so he concedes that game. So that was a really insane game one. He definitely made
Yeah.
he made like 3, I think, really like not intuitive but definitely bad plays. Like
Yes. Yes.
yeah, and you were able to punish that. But your deck also like worked as intended. Like you eventually found your payoff. You eventually drew your G call, and then you also like didn't get fucking shut out by deck dev because you're only playing 11 targets for it. I say only in air
Yeah.
quotes, but like at
I
most
know it's pretty huge.
deck dev should be hitting like 2 to 3 cards like in the starting hand on average. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that card is definitely like the most backbreaking thing once it's used. If it's used correctly, where it's like reactive, dude, it's fucking
yeah. You were telling me in the
killer.
text,
It's
you were like
devastating.
saying like the reactive deck devs are the ones that hurt the worst.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I think it was in one of your RBETs. I played Atri here, and I just had to summon a full helm and book the Caius and attack into it, and then he has the deck dev set. I'm like, yeah, like it's wraps, and I lost a book in that exchange. Like it's so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know.
Yeah.
The only way to beat it
So
is
here,
play Trapstone. He has a
yep.
really
Pretty much.
fast start with the Vayu Sirocco. Did you side Kaikus against him, or were you just like not aware he was on hybrid?
No. Yeah, I didn't realize. And even this, honestly, when I saw this, I'm like, oh shit, has he just been on like turbo, or did he like smoke screen into turbo or something? Like I was very confused here seeing this Rhoda pitch and then the grapher, and then I think it was later I'm like, oh yeah, I guess there's like the hybrid build of this.
Yeah, I think the big tell for you game one is the Kalut normal to search Vayu usually means he has multiple values, and then
Uh,
the other big tell is game one deck dev. The only build of this deck that mains deck dev in that capacity is the hybrid build. So yeah, pretty much
right,
that.
right. It's the only deck that would make sense to do it. I Yeah, I see. That was the thing too. That whirlwind play, I didn't even think it was Vayu. I just was like, oh, it's a blizzard. I don't want to deal with blizzards.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
Because like I don't think a lot of people also know this. Like Catastrophe like poses X-Saber's down really bad. Like if people are just like stay on a catastrope, it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Blizzard into Kalut into Catastrophe can be a pain in the ass. You can't really crash into it. It takes off a lot of your
Nope.
lines. You basically have to
Yep.
find book, brain, mind to interact.
Yeah.
Here you have brain control of your own and Airbellum, and all of this is just gonna work, and you're gonna Black Rose him. So it's gonna be a 2 for 3 if this resolves. And I believe it does. I believe it's set as Mirror Force if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I kind of took the. It's not a. I assumed
Or
maybe
Transmigration
decided out the
Prophecy.
jar and the Yada for game 2. This was kind of funny. I honestly don't think you should do this, but I don't know. I think giving me back 3 Airbellums in the deck with Rescue Cat is like, and then maybe it's just because people don't know that it's like if I draw a double Airbellum, my deck kind of crumbles.
I think it's a 50-50.
So having that,
It's like, do you expect like Gotham Sea Call or Fall Troll, or do you expect Rescue Cat? Because
yeah,
this definitely
it's like
weakens
you're
your
gonna
G
lose that
Call.
guy.
Here you Gold Sark for Rescue Cat, and I think this might also be like another like inexperience in this particular matchup, but against Hybrid Blackwings, you should definitely aim to Gold Sark for spells, like 1 for 1, because they do play Burial. This was something I had been meaning to tell you, but I was waiting till we covered this.
You know what I learned? Lee was the one that was like, yeah, it's not too bad it can only do monsters. And then I had like a double take and was like, wait, what? And I had to go read Burial and was like, this is not a transmigration prophecy. I had no idea this whole time. I could have sworn like people would like I would banish a Trunade or a Heavy and they'd like Burial it back.
Yeah, people think you can put back spells and traps, but it's only
Cards.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I had no idea.
here he fucks your shit. I mean, he gets a Gold Sark and an Armor Master.
Yeah.
Like, that is just disgusting. And you'll never have Cat at this point, because your deck has only one piece of recursion for Cat, which is Call, and I'm pretty sure you side it out versus Blackwings. I'm not sure if you do, but it helps fight deck devs. I'm not sure if you do. But...
No, I think I keep call. I think I keep calling.
Anyway.
I keep going with like the haymaker strat of this where it's like I'm just gonna try to sweep you and like push as hard as I can. And so when I do like heavy or Trunade against this deck, going on setting my e-calls on their turn tends to be like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, at this point after that cat got burial in, I thought this game was wrapped. Like I was like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna go into game 3.
Yeah. So you Gold Sark for level limit, and this is what I was talking about, where like level limit's kind of the oppression of this deck. But it's like an oppression versus Blackwings and other like normal summon attack decks. He goes for just like a T-set pass. You draw for turn, and he's got the Deck Devastation Virus, tributing Zombira the Dark, which is a really sick tech in his deck specifically.
That's so funny.
It's so
That's
fucked.
so funny. And then you see my pro set Airbellum. Oh, I guess it was so fast, but it is an Airbellum that's like face.
And then what is in your hand here? I don't know.
I did not get a chance to see.
Anyway,
that was so fast on like.
It doesn't fucking matter. The point is he kills your Airbellum. You take 1 billion damage, and you drop hella low. Now you're at 700. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, you get hit by deck dev, but you get level limit. And I have some fun facts for you about how Monster Gamer sides in this matchup. So, because
wait. Did I get that too soon?
No, you. I think you got it on the right turn. Let me go back just to make sure.
Now I'm like trying to.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Oh, because it's this
Black Rose. You might have got it. Did you get it a turn too soon? Neither of you noticed.
Oh
I don't know. Okay, so this is the turn. So you pass this turn. You Gold Sark for Cat. And he burials. Is it a turn too soon? Am I missing something? He might have passed with the Armor Master in play, and not attacked a set. He makes Armor Master attacks. So this is the turn you top deck the second Gold Sark, and you go for it. Okay. And then you T-set pass. He draws for turn.
Oh my god.
Did you get it a turn? Oh my god.
I think I got it too soon, man. Oh my god.
Well, you guys are going to have to play a game 3. Scuffed. Holy shit. I didn't even notice because I was like so paying attention.
Nobody noticed.
No, wait.
Oh, Pog?
Wait.
Set pass. No,
No,
wait.
no, no, no.
It's
This
still
isn't a
his
turn. Yeah,
interface.
no, yeah, no. You didn't get it to turn too soon. You didn't get it a turn too soon because you T set and then you passed this turn. He didn't attack your set because he wanted to deck dev you. Yeah, no, I knew he passed. No, you didn't cheat. You didn't cheat. You didn't cheat. You're good. You're good. You're
And
good.
then
Yeah, it's one more turn.
no. Okay.
Yeah, no, you did it right. You did it right. We're just tired. We're just tired. It's been a long vid. Just
Okay. Okay. Oh, dude, I was so scared now. Okay.
no, no, no chat,
Okay.
no chat. You're the goat. You're the goat. Never doubted. I never doubted you for a
Dude.
second. This is why I rewinded the tapes. I was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way you fuck this up. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you lose the full
So
helm.
that is.
You level limit, and now he needs to find outs to level limit, or else he can't win. But let me tell you a little secret about Monster Gamer's sideboard plan versus X-Sabers. Because I've played against him a bunch, and I play like fucking Starlight Roads out the ass. I play like 2 Starlight Road. He like sides out like his sweepers, so he sides out Heavy Storm in this matchup.
I also play Starlight Road stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pick your poison.
Yeah, but it's funny because that's like one of the outs to Gravity Bind level limit, and
Yeah.
you just happen to have level limit, and he just happens to not have his out, and you put him in a situation like level limit's one of the few cards besides like Consecrated specifically that puts Blackwings in the position of draw the out or lose.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, it has to be Icarus, Heavy, or MST, right? It's like 5 cards or bust.
Yeah, or like Gale to play through it or Kalut to play through it, but usually
Or
it's
Gale. Yeah.
It's usually
Yeah.
5 cards. Yeah. Sometimes Dust Tornado.
That is
If they
kind
play
of the
it.
annoying thing with this deck. They do have level 3s, and they're like not a bad stat line. So it's like,
Well, they have one level 3. Like Kalut is fine. You can usually wall out Kalut, but here you rip like a god, dude. This was insane. This was the best top deck I think I've ever seen.
an X-saber that doesn't die to deck Devi.
And then
Because that
you get
puts
to
me back into the shit.
God
yeah.
of Skull, and it's Air Element, and it can run over the fucking Gale, and I'm just like, dude. And it gets back the full helm, and the full helm can kill the Sirocco.
It's so crazy.
Oh my god! And the
And
second
it's
Air
just a
Element kills the Armor
reversal.
Master. Oh my!
This was nuts.
This
I couldn't believe
and then
it.
you have full helm to negate an attack on the way back. It's so good. It's so good. This was like the most insane moment I've ever seen. Most insane level limit. 4 turn wait on Gold Sark. You could have just searched it with the first Gold Sark. Oh man.
I didn't know. I genuinely thought that it didn't matter what. I always understood it as cards.
Oh my god.
I'm still learning, y'all. I'm still learning.
That's so crazy. And then he finds Upstart, and then you go back to 17. Now your brain control is live. Now you can oppress him if he goes for. Oh my god. It's so over.
I do have a question for you. Here, would you attack with everything, or would you leave the full helm in defense?
I think leaving the full helm in defense is very good.
Yeah.
So you don't just like die to a random Kalut.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of.
If anything, like you could even get even more conservative and attack with just one Airbellum at a time.
Yeah, that was the thing I had a hard time thinking about here. When it's like in these board states, I'm always like, okay, like, do I summon and just say they don't have torrential, or and like, do I respect Mirror Force top decks? Those are like the two things, and especially with this deck, it's always harder because I feel X-Sabers get hosed down so hard against those top decks.
Yeah. Here you make Herbellum,
So here-
and then you forget to switch to defense, and then you switch to defense,
Yeah,
and then
dude, I'm so like freaked out at this point. 'cause
yeah,
I'm
you're like
how
actually
freaking
winning this
back.
game, dude. Level limit
I'm
area
like-
B is fucking insane. It's just such an
It's
insane card.
crazy. I can't believe it. Yeah.
This is like one of those games where it's like he has to rip something now, or else he's just gonna lose to these monsters beating him down. He's forced to set cards too. Another reason why you like don't need to read Mirror Force is because he's forced to set cards, or else Airbellum rips them. So like
Yeah.
the sets are gonna
Yeah.
be fake half the time, basically. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna be more Whirlwinds or Allure or whatever brain control, whatever card he is forced to
Yeah.
set for whatever reason.
I think that prior turn I opted to go for that mind control just because I valued taking it and turning him off a dark and playing into torrential versus like him drawing the dark and getting hosed by Vayu summon or something off the top, even though I don't think it matters. And at this point, this is crazy. And the oppression here is great because I'm like, okay, so that's even better for me because no synchro summon is going to like come out and I can kind of poke with like the full helm at this point.
Yeah, and the oppression is so good because like your main form of special summoning here is going to be full helm effect. And if he goes for like Blizzard and tries to Bionic the level limit, you can just negate the Bionic. And so
Yep.
he just cucked like one of his own outs because he had to. Like,
Yeah.
so this is just going to be a wrap from here. Like, I don't think he can come back. Like, I don't think there's really even any single top deck in his deck that gets him out of this situation. Even Heavy Storm at this point just loses
It has to
him
be like
the game on the
consecutive top
spot.
decks.
Yeah. You have Space Typhoon. He's going to be able to reveal a deck dev. You summon Thunder King. You try to go for game, but the Thunder King is in defense position.
In
so.
defense, yeah. It's
But
like, that's right.
The Thunder King is even another layer of defense. Like, even if he had like heavy into
I
Blizzard,
know, it's
like,
another flood.
like he'd have to have like
Oh wait.
Avarice here or some crazy shit to like get back into this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a negate attack. You have can't search off Whirlwind. You've got level limit area B. He tries to search, and then you're like, oh, you can't search because of the Thunder King. Dude, you set up like so much layered interaction, and then you just back over this, get back your Airbellum, and attack directly for game. And it's like,
yeah,
dude, you got deck dev twice, and you still won both games. That's fucking nuts.
I couldn't believe it. I needed the luck of the gods for this one to find that Airbellum. It's like the one time when you do want to find Airbellum is under deck devies.
Literally. No, this was like
funny.
This was one of the most miraculous matches I'd ever seen, and it was really technical in a lot of places. Like, you had to know you have to know so much about the game to play this match perfectly from both sides. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Like, I consider both you guys to be very, very top players. Like, you obviously being the first person to win like a pretty big tournament with X-Sabers, and Monster Gamer like being one of the first RBET winners. Like you guys are both very technical, and even you guys both like encountered a lot of like weird situations in that game. So that was really sick. All right, top four. Top four.
That was a weird one.
Top four. Who do you play in top four?
His name was Z.
Oh, Z. Yeah, Z, dude. He's pretty good. I've watched him play before at Collectible Exchange. And fun fact about Z is he was currently undefeated up until top four. Like, he just like had won every single game up until this point. So, he's a really good player. He won, I believe, a PS5 tournament.
He beat Lee in top 8 to get here, I think, too.
Yeah, you did, yeah. So, SoCal Retro Yugs, shout out. But he was playing Lightsworn, and you said this is like your scary matchup. So I haven't seen any of this match.
It's the one match where I'm genuinely convinced it's like 50-50 and it's whoever pops first. Oh, I fucked up the text thing.
It fucking happens. It fucking happens.
Unfortunate part with, yeah.
Because you can't see what's on the screen because you have it covered while you're doing the production, so you don't know that it's fucked up until post or whatever. Is there a reason you count out your extra deck like this? Is it just to flex your waifu sleeves, or what is it?
My live twins. No, I'm like a fidgeter, so I like to like just kind of toy with cards, and so like there's like something nice about like gliding cards on your mat. Like,
I agree.
Just kind of like a fidget. Yeah, it's like it's getting the fidgets out.
You need to get some different sleeves though, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
Some fidget toys.
Some different sleeves.
Dude, I love Live Twin though. The deck's so fun. Runic Live Twin was so cool.
I'm ending the video.
Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway, he gets to win the die roll, and he starts Illumina, mill 3, and he mills Honest and JD, and you're probably like, PogChamp.
Wow. Yeah, the fact that it was Illumina on, I'm like, cool.
All right, Threatening Roar, so you're just up +1, Raw Dog. And your Giant Rat's in attack, so he can't fucking air in you.
Yep. Yeah, when you see Lightsworns, this is another matchup. Do not set recruiters. You just cannot emphasize that enough. Never set a recruiter into Lightsworns.
Here comes Discard Plague, bring out Aaron. Are you scared to see Plague
and
in the grave?
Aaron.
Just kidding, there's Celestia. So this is what he was setting up for. He's going to mill 4 for cost, and he's going to hit Wolf. You're going to chain Fiendish Chain. That's an insane Fiendish. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, what an insane Fiendish Chain.
This is nice. I get to keep my guy.
That is so good. What the fuck? I'm going to try Fiendish Chain and Fairy now. That seems so
Yeah,
smart.
I'm kind of curious about it in recruiter decks now because it does seem like if it keeps a monster alive and like you don't care about your life points and you can poke a couple times for like a setup, it seems pretty fire.
He has to go minus into Catastrophe here, but you're probably like okay with it. You're only taking 21 too, which is kind of nice.
I'm a little mad. He figured out the secret tech.
He did, but like you only lost one card in this whole exchange of him ditching a card, stacking for Celestia, getting a free wolf, and like making a catastrophe. You only lost one card because Fiendish Chain. I think that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. It's like it's a decent trade. I think we're still at like neutral cards, like 5 to 5. So if
Yeah,
I just opt to like just that.
yeah.
This is the only way to try to beat Catastrophe. I just yeah, and then this I think is
He goes for
disgusting.
another Celestia. Do you have another chainable? He mills another wolf. Look at this fucking guy. That is crazy. And you just
And that's
scoop.
raps, yeah.
Wait, did you have Solemn?
I don't think so. I think I would have sold that.
Oh, okay. For sure, for sure.
Double check. I don't know.
I thought you had Solemn
Let's
there.
see what
Hold
it
on, I'm
was.
gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
0.25 this shit.
Yeah, we're going 0.25 on this bitch. Quality? No. Playback speed 0.25. All right. We're gonna go frame by frame. What are those cards? Oh my god. Set the cards, Totagon. Set the cards. Set the cards. Set the cards. Okay. He flicks the
Yes,
Celestia to the front. He sacks the Celestia. Dude, if you had a road here, you would. This would be like cream, dude.
I know this would have been so crazy. I would not have. I feel like it would have put me in a good chance against this with such an insane opener.
Yeah. I hate playing road against Lightsworn because every time I draw it, they just fucking Lila Ryko me, and then every time I don't draw it, they like Celestia
Yeah,
JD me, and I'm just like, dude,
yeah.
what the fuck?
It's so rough. It's miserable. Yeah, the Lila makes this whole thing a lot miserable, more miserable. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. Pause. Oh no,
Wait. Go
no.
back, go
What
back, go
was
back.
it?
Pick up the card, put it in the hand. That's
I can't
at
see what
one
that
with
is.
this.
You
It
call
looks like
or at
at
one
one
with
with
the
the sword.
sword.
That's
That's
at
at
one
one with
with
the
the
sword.
sword,
Yep,
and
there it
then
is.
Fiendish Chain, and then last card, Space Typhoon.
MST.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
unfortunate.
hey, you got fucked. What can I say? Like you said, if they just nut off on you, it's like, what can you do? And he milled two wolves and
Yeah,
resolved two
you just get
Celestias, so
cooked.
it's fucking stupid. Yeah. All right. Game two. Game two. Looks like he has a consecrated in his sideboard. Usually people don't have a great sideboard for X-Sabers because it's just like such an off meta deck. And the
Yeah.
cards that are good against X-Sabers are like really unpopular right now. Like
Yep.
DD Crow is really unpopular right now, and like more people are playing like stupid dog shit like Transmigration Prophecy. The card's so ass. I don't understand. Like, why would anyone
Yeah.
ever play that over DD Crow? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It it is the one thing where it's like if people are starting to follow my paradigm of siding Iron Walls and Kaikus, it really makes them siding DD Crows like a lot more miserable.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because you have six
it's
ways to
it's
stop
a
it.
little scary.
In this
Yeah.
matchup, you have what Thunder King and Kaiku to kind of beat that ass.
I think I did Kaikus for sure. I'm not sure if I did Thunder Kings. Because against this matchup, if it's not a deck devastation deck, that's I like to keep my all my tools to like give me max consistency to like fall troll because that's what I think is like gonna win me the most. So I think I cut like MST heavy and at one with the sword for 3 Kaikus, and I just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Those are probably your worst cards. MST is not bad because it can end phase shit, but
Yeah.
there's Decree.
Are,
Were you expecting Decree, or is this just like something you're like fine with usually?
I think I'm fine with it because I think I still have an MST set.
I thought you sided
So
for
I
MST.
didn't. I don't. Yeah, I thought I did too. But then I'm like remembering this. I'm like, I feel like my train of thought here was like, oh, I'm fine because I have a Fiendish chain and an MST set. So now
Huh.
I'm like trying to think what 3 cards did I cut for.
Why'd you get Airbellum here?
I
That's so interesting. Do you have like something that like really
Yeah, I think
cares?
I'm gonna like snatch it and then just kind of,
Maybe you cut like
or I have a way to.
call or Gotham's e-call, something like that. Maybe not e-call, but like I don't know. Smashing ground. What
Oh,
the fuck?
this is Z attacking into my Embers Blade. I summon Arabellum here because I want to
Oh my god.
summon that Kaiku, rip, banish the Raikou, and then get a direct hit in with the Arabellum.
Oh my god. What an insane fucking Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. And he's locked under decree, so he can't even defend himself.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. This is really good because I'm in control of that decree with my MST.
Yeah. Yeah, that's disgusting. And now you've
Yeah,
got
this
another
is
Emmer's
at this
Blade.
point I don't have to like respect anything. I'm just going in.
Yeah, the only card you'd have to respect here is like Trag, but who cares? He's got another Decree in hand too. I hate
Oh,
playing
that's
Decree
bad.
because this always happens to me. I like just get beat up
You
under my
brick
own
on the
Decree.
decrees.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he just
yeah. He was like,
concedes.
I'm not dealing with this shit. It's over.
Oh my gosh, dead on board. Put on the beats. That's why Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is probably like the single best sideboard card against like some of these like big mill decks, like against Amaryllis, Lightsworn, Twilight Sworn, Christia Sworn, Fairies, any sort of like deck that's trying to establish a fat graveyard. Kaiku just smokes it.
Yeah. I think it was level limit. I think I take out level limit against Light Sworns. Level limit and out one with the sword.
That's crazy. I like level limit against Lightsworns, especially with roads. But I guess you only have the one road. So.
I only have the one road, yeah. And then my whole thought with it is like it's gonna get Celestia'd or Raikou or yeah, just those two, and they can still like mill under it, which is still them pushing through with their game plan. So that to me is like, I don't really want a card that like, because it's like I don't want to stall for him to find something and then for me to get cooked, you know?
But even if he Celestia's it, like the Celestia is still in defense, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, and even if
But
he JD blows up, like it still switches the JD to defense, so you like aren't dying that turn. I don't know.
yeah, it's usually the fact that they're like setting it up for like, oh, I'm gonna Raikou pop that, or I'm gonna Celestia, and I'm gonna summon my JD, and that's like, okay, yeah, I'm reps. Yeah, I'm
Because you
posed.
have Fiendish Chain, I think it
You
might.
could, yeah.
You could, but
You could
yeah,
be a
I
little
get you.
greedy with it, you know?
Typhoon is important against Decree, so like I do like Typhoon in the matchup as well.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just T set, and if you have full helm, I mean you're just living,
Or
right?
just happy.
That too, Sangan. Sangan gives you
Happy.
four ways to attack into like set Raikou bullshit.
Yeah. And then here I was thinking about something, and I'm like, no, that's stupid.
Is there anything that
I
like
was like,
really
why?
punishes you here? He's gonna
Oh,
try to.
TK.
Yeah, I guess. Or are you
That's
saying Thunder
it's just
King?
like
Or... Oh
no
my
OTK,
god.
just
Oh,
OTKs me.
I get you. I get you.
Like an OTK pops off. Yeah.
It's pretty hard for Lightsworn to OTK, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like we say that, but I also feel like if any deck is gonna do it, it's this one, you know? Like it's like two wolves and like a JD, and you're just like, yeah, I was never winning.
One Wolf is gone. It has to be like an early JD that really does it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
He got a draw and he milled a Plague, so he's like kind of cooking. But I think I see a Pot of Avarice in his hand. That's a pretty terrible card in this matchup. He also has a Necrogarden in his hand, so his hand is ass. And that's just the Lightsworn experience,
Yeah,
man. You play like 15 Garnets. Gareth is also a Garnet, so
that's a cool Garnet.
it is a cool Garnet, and it does attack over
It is a
Shura.
really cool Garnet. Yeah.
Here comes
So here I think he
Reincarnation.
pitches the Necro. Yeah.
Adds back
And
Trooper,
back
but
for a Trooper.
he already normaled, so it's like, what is the point of doing that? Just to get the Necro on the grave? Like, that seems
I think
really
so.
bad.
I think he's really scared of whatever I do, maybe, and he's just afraid of dying.
He's scared of Kaiku, but like,
So,
you can just summon Kaiku, and like, what is he gonna do? He can't Necro.
okay, so here, after this, I'm going to play a brain control. And I think we should pause here because this was the thing where I didn't know what to do. Because I have the brain con, and my default was I want to deal with Honest and Necrogardener. And so I take like I don't give it too much thought because I'm kind of used to like just trying to come up with something that works in my head, and then it's like it works. Let's just keep moving forward instead of like thinking is there something better. So here I bring control the Ryko and I make a Cataster because Cataster and the Fall Troll and whatever else I'm gonna summon, I can deal with both of those counters. But I think it's better to take the Garoth.
Yeah, so the reason why I take the warrior is probably better is because there's a couple different lines. It depends on what's in your hand. Do you know what's in your hand? Oh, you have a second
Oh,
fall
it's
troll.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck are
Okay.
you? What the fuck are you doing? You just win. You just win
Yeah, but
here.
I don't win here because I take the Ryko. Was I supposed to I'm trying to think what's the line here for what's the line here if I took the Garoth?
No, don't you just win? If you just take the Ryko, you can just go Cataster and then ladder into Colossal, bring back double air Bellum, and that's AK.
Ladder into Colossal. Wait, hold on. What?
You synchro with Ryko and
Wait,
Airbellum.
was there an even better line? Okay.
Hold up. Hear me out. Hear me out. So you take the Ryko, you synchro into Cataster, you synchro with the Cataster and the second Airbellum into Colossal. You bring back double Airbellum. Colossal attacks the Gareth. If he has Honest, like okay. If he Necrogun is okay, and then you just attack and it's like a billion, you get double hand rip. It's like I don't know, and then you
Does that
discard.
play around? Does that play around both Honest and Necro? If so,
I
if
don't
it's
think so.
Colossal,
I don't think so. But you could also like take Gareth, and then you could like you could hand loop him because you have double fall troll. You can go like fall troll. You can go synchro into Urbellum. Actually, you don't even take the Gareth yet. You like bring back Airbellum first, synchro into Gotham's. Gotham's sack one
you
of the
know,
Airbellums, rip his
you
hand.
know what I think it is? Yeah, I think if I take Garoth and I make Urbellum, I have to not tunnel into Airbellum or no, yeah, because Airbellum attacks Raikou if it's honest. I can
Oh,
still hop over it
you
with
don't
the
have an
Fall
Airbellum in
Troll.
your grave. For some reason, I was thinking you have an Airbellum already in your grave.
No, I have to
Never mind.
synchro away. Yeah, yeah, I have to
Okay.
synchro away.
You
So
go.
here I can probably push damage if I do, because it's gonna be double Airbellum on field.
Make
Yeah, because here I'm opting to
Gotham's.
use this.
And then
Oh, I go
Gotham's
for a
goes.
hand rip because I'm just gonna rip the hand so that I don't have to deal with the honest.
You're trying to play around Necro Honest and you're trying to hit an Honest. What's in your hand? I
I
wish I
have
knew what was
no
in your
idea at this
hand.
point.
Because if I knew what was in your hand, then I could tell you the optimal line. But I just don't know what's in your
Yeah,
hand. It really depends on what's in your hand. Like this is a
but I
great
do like your
line.
colossal line.
This is a great line because at the very least it ends you with Stardust Fall Troll. Like if you
I
go
don't even think I did that.
like if you just go like Catastrophe attack, like don't hand rip here. You just go Catastrophe attack, Gotham's attack, and if he has Honest, then you get the Honest out of his hand. He has three more cards. You can make another
Yeah,
Gotham,
it's
discards
the same
two
thing
of
as a
them.
hand rip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same thing as the hand rip, but it actually hits the Honest. And then on top of
yeah.
that, you end with Stardust Fall Troll, and it's like, okay, answer Stardust Fall Troll with whatever. That's gonna be
Yeah,
two.
I was not pleased at all with this turn, and I think there's I think even the chat was going off at this point. They're like, "No, he's doing it wrong, he's fucking up."
I mean,
Because this was the only way
this
I
is
was like, okay, at this point here, this has to get necroed, and then this takes out the honest, and then we move
this is
across.
the worst
If I miss,
possible. This is the worst possible. I think.
yes,
I think this is the worst possible play. I'm sure there's
this
a
is
better
the
line.
yeah, yeah. I totally fucked this up. I think if I leave the two Arabellums and I take the Garoth, and then if I go into battle with just that, it's like Cataster. I have to attack with the Arabellum first because you're not going to Necro that, and if you do Necro that, I attack with the other Arabellum, and
I
then
mean,
if it's
he
honest,
just fucking
I can
loses.
attack with the
Like
Fall Troll.
he
Yeah,
can't win this game.
yeah, it's reps, it's reps. But that's another indicator. I am not playing this deck well.
I know. I just this is why. Oh,
I'm
by the
not
way,
playing the deck well.
this is why Avarice is bad. Is because like even if you do top deck it after you get comboed, it's only live after you get comboed or after the game has gone long, and your JD is gonna be dead off of the Avarice rip. And so even you have to Avarice back your 5 Light Sworns. You're just gonna draw more normal summons. You're still gonna die. And that's why it's so
Yeah,
bad. Like you'd rather top
yeah,
deck like a
this is bad.
Reincarn or like a fucking Beckoning Light or something like that. But usually,
Yeah,
usually
100%.
it's just done here. Like the best top decks are boss monsters. Catastrophe attacks the set.
I,
Rega pops the Gotems. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. How are you this? How are you in this situation where you have like
how
the same amount of cards as him? You resolved Cat double fall troll, dude. Just
and I blew it. And I blew it.
oh my god. If you lost this match, it would have been deserved, honestly.
Yeah, it genuinely was because that turn where I did that fall troll line and I just was like tunneled really hard into honest. I was like, yeah, that's
Do you not have another
not my product.
x-saber summon here? What the fuck? Why did you rip his hand? Oh my god.
I think it might be E-Call X-Saber.
But if it's e-call x-saber, then why would you not sack the Emmer's Blade instead of the Gotems and keep the Gotem? It's just a better. Oh my god. Oh my god. Cold Wave. And you let the Cold Wave resolve. You could have had Gotems in play here instead of Emmer's Blade. Were you playing around Torrential? Like what is he would have torrentialed on the call. Total
I was scared. I was just scared. I was scared.
Oh my
The
god.
Lightsworns has me so scared.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle you won this match. Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. I had an unbeatable hand, and I can't believe I did nothing with it, and
Ye-
all because I tunneled so hard into an honest, like just trying to play around an honest to the point where I just ripped off all my advantage for like
Yeah, you can just
playing
get
around.
hit with the honest and then still rip the rest of his hand and then end with like full
I was
troll and like
scary, man. You know, it's so scary.
oh my god, you could have a Gotems in play right now. Now he's making his own Catastor. Oh, it's so
It's so
over. It's
scary.
Jover.
It's a scary card.
It's Jover. Please
Have
finish
you read
this.
Honest?
Yeah,
It's like
it's a
Miscellaneousaurus.
it's a really scary card. It is Miscellaneousaurus in this for sure. What are you looking at?
It's the Edison
He's at
version of
850.
Miscellaneousaurus.
Just crash, go for game. Oh my
Yeah,
god. What an
yeah.
insane.
That this match was like I think my worst played match of the night.
Oh
Wait,
my
what is
god.
going on?
I think you're
Did
just
we?
talking something through with someone else. I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
left at this point
Yeah.
because I fist bumped you guys and left. I had already started the long drive of getting deck dev'd back to Vegas. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my fucking god. I don't believe
That
it.
was my worst paid match. I was like, I punted that shit so bad.
Anyway, you still won, so it doesn't matter. All right, moving on. Finals.
Finals.
Finals game 1 versus Xander. Have you played versus Xander before? I think you
Yeah,
have, right?
Xander's a good friend of our squad. Goes to card addiction a lot.
Wait, I think
That's
I
like
know Xander.
YCS tops.
Didn't Xander
Yeah.
win RBET with Diva Zombie?
No, I don't think so. But he's been around like all the YCS and stuff. He's usually
I'm
around.
pretty sure he's
Like
I'm
my
pretty sure he's an
corner.
RBET winner. What's his dueling book?
Fresh deli pet.
Okay, maybe not. I'm thinking of a different Xander. There's a different
Yeah.
Xander who won an RBET with Diva Hero.
Oh, okay.
I'm so bad with names, man. But he also lives in SoCal, which is
Yes. He's the other SoCal regular.
Xander or not Xander. SoCal is just a super competitive region.
We are very, very competitive. It's great. It's crazy.
Literally, like going there and playing a tournament is like just playing Edison tournaments in SoCal is the reason I want to live there. Like hands down.
Training. It's like being in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Dude, it is. It's like fucking
It's
Goku
just
versus Krillin shit. You know what I mean? It's like you just level up so fast. Like, it's crazy. Like playing against like Paul and playing against the other players there. Like even playing those matches with you, I felt like I had to like transcend. It's like you're not just an average dueling book player. You guys are all like cracked.
transcend. Yeah.
What
Dude,
is
I
it?
feel like I played that match against you so bad too. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. You lost $20. What kind of? I mean, spoiler alert for the people who are gonna go back and watch it. I'm sorry to take your money, but you have extra because you won the big brain control. What can I say?
Yeah. It was worth the warm up.
All right, finals time. Do you know what he's playing
So
going into this match?
I was making the hard read that's Black Wings.
Yeah, was it the black
So he's
sleeves
been like
with
playing,
the gray
yeah,
spellground?
he's been playing a lot of Blackwings
Allure
recently.
Banishura. Okay.
That and he really liked the Jar of Greed yada shit in this deck. So I was like, okay.
Bottomless on Airbellum. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like, okay, I'm gonna try to like go for hand rip here because it's like at this point, I don't know if you want to pause it for this, but with HTN 19's Blackwing list now, it has led me to say I'm not respecting your back row. It's probably Jars and Yadas, so I'm just gonna like summon my shit, and if it gets answered, that's fine. But if not, you're like losing a card from your hand, like in this kind of case. And that, I think, because people have pivoted to that draw package, it gives X-Sabers like a nicer spread because you don't have to play through as much back row.
That's true. Um, it just makes it harder to like snipe with like Typhoon if you draw specifically Typhoon. So I was thinking of
Yeah.
like trying some different shit with regards to back row removal than Typhoon, but I think Typhoon is still the best. Anyway, you were right. It was double jar. He hits you for 18, and then yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think this six draw Blackwings has been making a lot of waves. It's made a lot of the Raikou decks feel like immeasurably bad. Like I never want to play a Raikou into this deck ever. Every time I flip a
Yeah.
Raikou,
Yeah.
like I noticed when I was playing Raikou in the tournament, because I was playing Raikou in my quick draw deck. Every time I drew Raikou against Blackwings, I just couldn't even play it. It was like, okay, it's either gonna get pierced for a million, or I'm gonna hit a bad back row and he's gonna chain it. And I was finding
Yeah.
myself siding out charge plus my Raikous every single game versus Blackwings. And I'm just like, dude,
I'm kind of surprised how we got to this point now where we're like, yeah, Raikou sucks. It's like
it
just not a
does.
good card.
It does. And I actually think like with the advent of like these six draw decks, like if they're in the meta, like Raikou decks are just worse. Like I think like
Yeah,
Vayu
it
Turbo,
punishes it
Quick
so bad.
Draw, even the Machina deck to a degree are just worse. Um,
Yeah.
Noticeably.
So here I drew the Iwin card.
You did. But he has a deep prison, so
Get my other card deeper than yeah.
and both your guys are banished. It's kind of tough, but you have the floodgate, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, and I can turn it off whenever.
And you get your Trunade, yeah. So that'll turn it off. You
And I
check.
think I have combo here.
I
I'm not
love how you
sure.
like check under your level limit there. Did you see that? Watch
Did I
this.
what?
Watch this. You draw for
Oh, I
turn.
know. I do that habitually. I'll look under my face up card because it's like they're there.
It's so funny. Like,
I
did
just
I hide something
give
under
it a
that?
double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what
Oh
is
my
this?
god. That's so funny. All right, so yeah, you are gonna go for the Trunade. And then just cat fall
And you don't
troll.
have to worry about Kalutes because their Blackwings are in defense. It's really like this solve all.
It's such a
It's
broken card.
great. It's just so good. It's better than Gravity Bind because of that defense shit.
Oh my god. And then you get to stack his fucking hand that you just put back. This is why Trunade doesn't even
Oh,
matter.
this is huge. I attack first with the air balm. I hit
You
his
rip the
blizzard.
blizzard, you rip the comeback play,
I
and the way to
rip
play
his
through that level limit.
blizzard. Yeah, and
Oh
I send
my
him back in
god.
turn. I don't activate the level limit though.
You
That
pass
was
the
the thing I was
turn.
like wondering here.
Yeah, you definitely
If I
don't.
should,
You definitely shouldn't.
you definitely don't fire it, right? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you don't, because you know he still has two back row. So it's like
Yeah.
the only reason you would fire it is to like maybe like get it in under solemn, but it can always force a solemn later, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Now you have it back in your hand, like safe. You can wait till the Icarus is you. Like, oh, it's so nice.
Yeah. Just kind of play this more simplified game.
Yeah. He's got another deep prison. That card is really annoying versus X Sabers, but it's part of the reason why I like three books. And you're gonna negate this with Solemn, which is
It's that annoying.
yeah. I mean, you gotta
I
keep your
felt like
guy.
at this point, yeah, at this point I felt like I had enough pressure, and I think if I lose him, I'm the Urbellum, I'm like in a like I'm losing. I don't have any follow up. I don't think.
Well, it's a two
And
for
I felt
one,
like this.
2 for 1 Solemn. Like you're killing a monster and you're killing a back row with one Solemn. I think
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking good.
that's,
So,
that's pretty fair trade. Yeah.
and he can't like chain Icarus because it's spell speed 3 or anything. So,
Yep.
no, I think that's like
Yeah.
one of the best
Or
places to
battle
use it.
step. They can be like battle step. I think because it's
Oh
an
yeah,
effect deck for
they could, yeah.
the deep prison.
No, they can't because
Yeah.
oh yeah, they can because the monster hasn't died yet. Yeah, no, you're right. I was
Right.
thinking of something else for some reason.
Like if they're already in battle step and then you sell them, I don't think you can like
You
still leave
can.
battle step.
There's multiple chains in Battle Step, but this game's over.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game's washed.
Yep. High on they pop.
Finally.
That could have been.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do it if I'm like, okay, like whatever, you got torrential, you got torrential. Like I want to kill you. I don't want to drag this game out.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Show me your
sure.
top deck powers.
I'm pretty sure torrential is not real in Black Wings, even though a lot of good players play it. I just play like it isn't real.
Yeah.
Because first off, it's like a one of,
I think
and second off, like they never want to kill their own anchor monsters. So I don't know.
yeah. I think that's just another word of advice. If you're worried and you think it's that, if you don't have any follow up and you're like it's X-Sabers, it's a deck that once it makes a push, you're in a like simplified state like that. It's pretty hard to say like I'm gonna wait.
Ah, fuck. Yeah.
And if yeah, like at that point, just say like just take the odds. If it's more likely that it's not than it is if you play odds. And this is like assuming top deck shit, like not like the card's been there, like you can't make any reads on it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it. This is a deck that's like you're swinging swords. Be angry, be aggressive.
Yeah. Like it's an aggressive combo deck. That's a great way to put it. It's not like a combo deck where like Dragon Turbo, which I think is a very passive combo deck in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
X-Sabers
yeah,
feels like a lot of your combos come from the attack. Like they come from Full
yep,
Helm Knight, or they come from like Giant Rat or Ember's Blade Crashing. Like it's like
yeah,
aggro combo is how I would describe it for sure.
yeah. So like a lot of time you gotta put your opponents on better habit.
Yeah.
If you don't have like your puzzle pieces, you don't have follow up, and like it's just like that or lose, right?
Yeah. I think I see a Sirocco in his hand. I can't really tell what else is in his hand. Bora, I guess. Just Bora set. Dude, Bora is like when it's Bora without Whirlwind, it is one of the most underwhelming normal summons in Edison format. It's like, man, this could have been a
Yeah.
Stratos. This could have been a Gear Frame. Like, fuck, even a
And then
Shining
you find out
Angel.
that and then you find out that your opponent's like playing Amaryllis or like Quick Draw, and you're like, oh sweet.
Yeah,
Damn it.
it fucking works. Something that's really interesting here is notice that Juan put the brain control on your mat. He put the Chaos Sorcerer on Sanders' mat. Just a little
Oh,
bit of a little bit of foreshadowing of the dub that's about to be handed to
showing some
you.
favoritism, huh?
Yeah, maybe a little, maybe a little. I mean, you are up a game to be fair. So
Yeah.
here comes Shura plus Bora, attack, attack. I think Monster Gamer's list is much more suited to beating the fuck out of your deck than
Yeah.
the HD19 list. And you're gonna use Dust Tornado to end phase set something, so that's pretty good. Um,
Yeah, I forget. Oh, it's another Dust Tornado.
very
I have
nice.
double Dust heavy in hand, and I think Faltro. So like I'm ready to pop whenever.
Yeah,
Oh, and then that's a set E call. And I think this will kind of showcase like what I was talking about, how like sometimes Cold Wave just isn't gonna work for like what you're trying to do. And like
wait, you just let the full helm die. Oh, you negated the Shura then. Yeah, then the Bora. Okay.
no, no, no. He attacked with Bora, and then I chose to take the 400 there rather than take 500, and then he special summons a monster from it.
Why would you not wait to dust on the oppression there?
Oh, what was the train of thought here? It is I'm going to so I just set a heavy storm, and it was I'm going to try to resolve an e-call and say it's not oppression. Like if this
Oh
resolves,
my god, you get Icarus
I
here.
know it's not
You
oppression.
get Icarus here, you fucking lose. It's so over.
Yes. Yes. But then I don't because he has no summon stopper, and then at this point it's just
Oh
wash because
no. Oh
yeah.
no. It's so over.
And so then
Dude.
here
What are you doing?
I I synchro for 9. I do synchro for 9, but I think I pause just to think if there's like something else. And then yep, rip a card,
And then this is how you play through
and
Kalut.
then
You just rip it out of the hand. And then you
go e-call.
G-call. Oh my gosh.
I go heavy.
Oh, why did you set the heavy, dude? If he Icarus attacked you, oh my god. That was the greediest set heavy I've ever seen in my life. Holy
Yeah, I
shit.
think in hindsight, I just don't set the heavy
Yeah,
there. I
just
think you're
don't
just
set
supposed to
the
dust and pass.
heavy.
Just
What? You
dust and pass.
Yeah, what the fuck? Do you have Book of Moon
At
here
this
though?
point, he's got no hand, and I'm just leaving him with the Bora, so it's just kind of like deal with it.
Draw for turn. Hope he doesn't find Icarus. If you switch it to defense, you take more damage, but I guess you have to play around Mirror Force. So.
Yeah, I think that was the train of thought there. Because I think I drew a monster, so then I was like, if it's Mirror Force, I can like synchro, like just make something bigger.
I think you drew Mirror Force this turn, which is funny. Do you continue to play around it?
And then this is where I'm like, I'm just gonna try to. I think I go for just a game shot.
He's at 53.
I think I do high and low here for two and see if I can just wrap up the game. Because it's
Because
like I'm up a game, so I'm like, I can play a bit more aggressive.
also Road is gone. And if he
Oh,
flips
is it?
Oppression, he's locked under Oppression versus Golems. Yeah, Road is gone, yeah. So, like, Road and Oppression, the two worst case scenarios, are not that bad. Oh, he drew Oppression, not Mirror Force. I thought he drew Mirror Force. I couldn't really tell. But, like, that's, like, favorable for you, because now he can't even, like, Blizzard to get back in the game.
Yeah, he's super flooded.
Yeah. And he just extends the
And that's
hand.
it. Yeah.
Holy shit. What a tournament run, dude. You should have lost at, like, 6 different moments.
Dude, I honestly should have. And it's just like my own hubris.
I think
It's just like overconfidence that I'm like, hey, this kind of works. And then I realize looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that was terrible.
it was like Monster Gamer not end phasing the deck div and then not sacking the Sirocco
Yeah.
for the second Sirocco. And then the fucking cat double Faltrel turn versus Light Sworns. And then the setting Heavy Storm versus Black Wings. That's like 5 like
Just
game
should have respected your Chris there, yeah.
yeah, like crazy moments that could have just like absolutely ended your shit. So good stuff though. Like I mean like being able to win through making mistakes and like not letting it tilt you on further matches is like pretty hype too. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's
How much does
crazy.
brain control go for? Like $400, $500, something like that?
Something like that is what I was seeing online. It's like, oh sweet. We uh we cashed out pretty nicely.
Hell yeah, dude. You are now currently the most winningest x-saber player in all of Edison format history. How does it feel?
Weird. Feels
Yeah.
weird.
I know you said
I
like
don't know. It's so weird.
you don't want to be defined as x-saber guy, but
I know. That's I was like, because I like playing other shit too. Like I just like playing decks, and then I don't know what it is about X Sabers that I just keep going back to it. It's like it's my old reliable, you know.
yes.
like I'll be honest, for this World Series of Edison and the last one, the first one, I didn't want to take Sabers, and I wanted to play that Diva Hero deck, and I tried a match with it versus the versus our friend group, like our testing circle, the night prior, and I was like, I am not comfortable with this deck right now. This is like it's weird. It
The
plays
Fiendish
very,
Chain
very
one,
weird.
right?
Yes,
Yeah, that
yes,
list is it's really weird. When you get used to it, it's fucking insane. But until you get
yes.
used to it, it's like super different than
It
even like
doesn't
the
play
regular
like
Diva Hero.
normal.
Yeah.
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 And so, and I was there, and I'm like, I don't know what to play, but the only thing I know how to play at this point, and I can play comfortably to the point where like I know my side and I know like my game plan against the matchup shred is X Sabers. So like, let's just take this deck,
Yeah. And it
and
just
I did
worked.
it again. Like
Oh my
it's
god.
just thing I just know the best. Cause I cannot put this deck down to save my life. I gotta put this deck down.
Hey, put it down into my pocket. I'll play it the next tournament so you don't have to. I think it's like
Yeah, if you want to take it.
I think it's like one of the best decks right now, like into the current meta. People are really sleeping on it, even myself included. Like I ranked it kind of low on my tier list, but I
I
actually
mean,
think
everyone does.
I think it's a lot better
Everyone.
than people give it credit for sure.
And I think in a format where like people are testing jars and yadas is like you're making this matchup much more miserable for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like that. It's kind of this weird. We're in this weird stasis where I never thought I'd see the day where it's like, hey, you can actually play this deck and it's kind of favorable across the board right now because people are lacking on the defense and they're trying to like kind of do crazy combo stuff and an Airbellum resolving and disrupting your crazy combo is pretty backbreaking.
That and like another thing that people are doing is they're like cutting real defense, like D prisons and Caius and shit for like Imperial Iron Walls, and like this deck just does not give a shit about an Iron Wall. Or this deck does not give a shit
Nope.
about like a Transmigration Prophecy. Like this deck just doesn't care about those cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like the cards that have been adapted to face what's most popular are all really bad against X-Sabers. So excited
Yeah.
to see it more in the future. It still has yet to top like an RBET or like an Ultimate Time Wizard, but possibly this upcoming weekend at Nats, maybe we'll see it. Maybe someone will see this video and get inspired. So who knows?
Yeah. The best thing I can just say for anyone that like wants to try this deck out, do not like play one locals with it and then think like, oh, the deck's bad. This is similar to fairies in that you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you have to be receptive and open to understanding where you could have done something different. And if you're someone that learns from mistakes and just wants to be rewarded for that, this is like a deck that will do it, I think, alongside fairies. You will be rewarded for your time putting in for the strat. If you can figure out like where your mistakes were, what you could have done differently, how you could have sided differently, this deck will. It has been the most rewarding thing to play. I think it's like for you and fairies that I get that same like feedback for.
Yeah, yeah, it's very similar. Like for some reason, like when you see a really complex line and you go for it and you flex that on your opponent, it's just like the best feeling. And like all your tech cards are paying
Yeah.
off, like the Fiendish Chain, the level limit, like everything you've put into the deck, all your hours and like you're studying the matchups. It feels really good. And it feels really good too because you're literally the only person in the world who is playing it to this caliber right now. And that's like a
Yeah, it's crazy.
like if you think about it,
And I'm
like
bad with the deck. And I'm bad with it.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I'm
It's
saying
just
like
crazy.
you are the only person in the world who is actually doing it,
Yeah, like
which is
I
like,
don't know, man.
hey
It
man,
feels like a huge sleeper pick for me.
yeah, for sure. Anyway, thank you
Yeah.
guys for tuning in. I'm gonna sign off, but with one last thing, make sure and go subscribe to Totagon. Get him to 1,000. He's doing leaps and bounds for the Edison community, and they stream their. You stream stuff like almost every single week, tournaments almost every single week, and it's the best coverage out there right now. Really high
Yeah.
quality stuff. So
Honest. Want to see what the card addiction people are brewing. Yeah, if anyone's interested, it's a little dated just because it's not doing the Fiendish Chain thing, but everything's like basically the same. If you want like a side guide against Frog Hero, Vayu, and Blackwings, I show you card for card what I do in one of my videos.
yeah, yeah, you
Where it's
posted
like that WSOE. Yeah, yeah, there you go. It's like a
the
deck
X
profile and
Saber.
setting guide. So,
Yeah, and you guys.
if you need a little help with trying to figure out your cards, like I would suggest that video. Like just go check it out and it'll help you hopefully.
Yeah, great guide. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Totagon. Hopefully see you in another video in the future. Maybe we'll play this deck in an online tournament or something like that. And yeah,
We gotta run another Toto Gauntlet. That's what we need.
yeah, same. I need to play some different decks. Facts.
We need like 5 like random decks.
Exactly, exactly.
Some fun bullshit.
All right, signing off of the video. Peace, guys.